Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, depending on when you're listening to this, and welcome to the Weebly Comic Podcast, a podcast where every week we talk about anime, manga, comic book movies, and the latest entertainment news. I'm Diego, also known as Wrath, and as always, I'm joined by my co-host, Brennan,
What up, y'all?
and Star Psycho, aka Adrian.
What's up, whores?
Bro. And this week, our news is a little more Marvel focused than normal because, oddly enough, there's literally like no anime related news whatsoever. So, aside from us covering the newest episodes of Attack on Titan and Demon Slayer, as well as talking a little bit about Jujutsu Kaisen, One Piece, we will be talking about Marvel focused topics for the most part of the podcast, I think. I'm not really sure. But what I am sure about is that there's always going to be time codes in the description, as well as links to all of our socials, my YouTube channels, Adrian's Twitch, Brennan's Popstagram. There we go. Say it with confidence. And without further ado, let's get right into the news.
All right, Keemstar.
All right, so first off, I think that we should probably talk about the thing that we're definitely not going to have anything to say about, which is if you read Rent a Girlfriend, there is a new, the creator is starting a new manga talking about focusing on a forbidden romance between 7 siblings, and that is starting on February 25th. Why? Can I just ask why?
He's trying something new, bruh. You hate him, for?
But why do they gotta be siblings?
You don't know where it's going. You don't know what the deal is. Relax.
Look,
This is a
okay.
wild thing they like.
I'm gonna give this grace. I'm going to make the healthy assumption that the main character who is having this forbidden romance thing with 7 siblings is not related to the 7 siblings. Because otherwise, this man got some explaining to do.
I think it's just cut and dry. He's trying to fuck his sisters. Homie, a little freak.
Homie is a freak. Hold on. I have the picture of the manga cover. Let me count how many girls are in here. Oh no, there's only 6. Oh no. Oh no.
Yeah, 7 siblings counting him.
God.
This man wants to say, step bro, what are you doing?
It's not even they actually, you know what? If they're step siblings, I'll feel so much better about that.
Cause a little better. It's totally weird.
Look, bro.
It's already kind of sus as it is with the title.
I won't be surprised because I don't know if either of you have heard anything, but apparently Rent a Girlfriend has been fucking wildin' lately with just the weird ass shit that's going on in it. So
define the weird stuff that's happening.
Okay, so on Twitter, because
it said define weird.
on Twitter, because I don't read Rent a Girlfriend. I may or may not start reading it though. But on Twitter, I read that like the latest chapter, I think like 2 weeks ago, homeboy was just getting bricked up thinking about his girlfriend like getting fucked by somebody else.
Oh, so he's a cut.
Yeah, nice. Literally, like the tweet was just talking about how he's like into being cucked, and I'm like,
Adrian's into that too.
Well, and I'm like, but I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Because like I've heard a lot of things about Rent a Girlfriend, but none of it was like anything in the vein of what that is. So that's part of why I want to read it, because I'm like, how do you go from like I wouldn't say wholesome, but like from point A to point B, basically. Because
you walk.
All right, bro.
You said regular sex ain't no more. I'm trying to see my girl get fucked. You trying to see that BBC tear that pussy up? You know what I mean?
Oh my god.
Okay, Adrian.
Jeez, bro.
Are you good, bro?
We are a PG-13 podcast, okay?
I was about to say, you better not stop at PG. You know that ain't true.
Yeah, with the amount that we all cuss, there ain't no way this is gonna be PG.
He's trying to have a little brother in me, Black, seduce his girlfriend in various ways. It's very hard in the lower exterior area.
If any of this makes it after I decide to edit it, I am so sorry.
Boy,
He's
these are
usually
TikToks.
these are TikToks, but it's not usually like this, I promise.
It is when we're off podcast.
Yeah, but on podcast. Okay,
I got
moving on. Nope. I'm not even letting you talk. We're moving on. All right, so Jujutsu Kaisen movie Zero move. God, Adrian, you fucked me up. I'm not gonna lie.
I'll fuck you up.
God. All right, Jujutsu Kaisen Zero, the movie about Volume Zero. There will be some 4D screenings in select theaters after it comes out. I don't know for how long. I don't know what theaters, but all I know is that, it's going to be 4D, so that means that there's probably going to be some like wind blowing in your face in certain scenes along with like I don't even know what else, cuz like I've only seen a 4D movie once, and like I forget what movie it was for, but like I got like rain on me and like wind, and just it was a weird
Adrian's
experience.
hoping to smell Maki.
Look, you need to chill. If you want to hear what just transpired, make sure to go check out our TikTok within the next few days.
God.
Because dear God,
Men's is wildin'.
Yeah.
I got a headache.
You got a headache? This is you with a headache? That's crazy.
A little bit. But, on some wholesomeness, I'm trying to see some Black Flash action. I'm trying to hear you to hit me with the Black Flash and actually feel that shit so I die.
I was just about to say that. I was literally just about to say that. I was like, this man wants a sword thrusted through him when he hits the Black Flash.
Damn right.
What kind of sword are we talking? Because we all know Adrian be rolling that way right now.
Excuse me, sir. I do not roll with the meat sticks, I roll with the hot
Oh, I got my tech deck in my pocket.
Bro.
Bruh, nah, listen. I mean, I'm gonna be honest, bro. I don't know how y'all feel about 4D movies, but
I'm not rocking
sometimes,
with it.
Yeah, I'm not
rocking with it.
Sometimes I'd be feeling the water. I'm like, God damn, what the hell? Like, nah.
Plus, I'm like, I gotta wear some clothes that I'm like okay with getting, wet or whatever, and like, it's just a hassle, bro. Like, you don't know what kind of water they be spitting on you.
Nah, it's just. Nah, like I just want to see the movie, bro. I'll go in like IMAX, so it's like super loud and or like Dolby,
bro. There better be a
fucking
fucking Dolby screening. I swear to God.
It's either gonna be Dolby or the IMAX. I think it's usually like Sword Art Online. It's usually IMAX, I think.
Yeah. I just hope there's a Dolby screening. That would make my
listen,
day.
Bro. February needs to speed run through itself so that we can get to March and watch this goddamn movie. Cause I keep seeing the stills.
I thought it came out in February.
No, it comes out on March.
In March
16th.
23rd. No, 18th.
Yeah, 18th. There we go. But like I keep seeing the stills, and I'm just like, bruh, stop teasing me, bro.
To be honest, I've already been
not
spoiled.
right.
I just already read the manga for it, so that's why.
Wait, so does that mean then that this like 4D thing will only be in Japan?
I don't know if
Probably.
it's gonna be in Japan, but
then why the fuck are we even talking about, bruh?
Listen, I don't care.
Speaking of things that only take place in Japan, shut the fuck up, Adrian. Zoro's statue has been unveiled in Japan, my guy. And if you didn't know, actually, because this is we on some wholesome stuff with this one. So,
as you just told him to shut the fuck up.
Listen, I'm sick and tired of Adrian right now. He be derailing us too much.
Ooh.
I gotta cut out so much shit because of him. This is why I'm talking to him like this. All right. So I don't remember when this happened, but basically, there's been a bunch of statues that have been put up of all of the Straw Hats, and actually Zoro is the last Straw Hat of like the main Straw Hat, I should say, that has gotten a statue. But all of this happened because there have been two really devastating earthquakes that hit Kumamoto town, which is the hometown of Oda, the mangaka for One Piece, and he gave 800 million, I'm assuming yen,
God damn.
to the city to rebuild. And of
God
course,
dang.
with all of that money, they were extremely grateful and decided to put up all of the straw hats. And like I said, Luffy was first revealed back in 2018, I think. And then he was followed by Sanji and then Usopp, and I don't remember the order of the rest. But Zoro's the final one of like the main crew to have been put up. But while I was looking at this and trying to get the dates, I also saw that not supposedly, but when Nami was like revealed, they announced that Jinbei would also be getting his own statue, which will be unveiled later this year in July. But just the fact that like 800 million, bro.
Bruh.
Bro, you're on that. I'm on.
And
How did Usopp and Nami get a statue before
because they're part
Zoro?
of the Straw Hat crew. Before
Yeah,
then,
to be honest, the fact that Zoro is after everybody is really surprising to me. I don't
it is.
know if
He was
there
the
was like
first
a
Straw
rhyme or
Hat.
reason. That's what I'm saying though. Like
It
Luffy
really
being the first one, obviously that makes sense. And like me personally, I would have expected it to be in the order that the Straw Hats joined. But
Mm-hmm.
if I remember correctly, actually, Brook was immediately after Usopp. So
Interesting.
yeah,
My boy
like
Brook deserves it, though. Just saying.
so
Shout out all the Brook
I'm not really
fans.
sure if there was like a rhyme or reason, but I just think that it's really interesting that Zoro of all of them would be the last one. Maybe because he's he's like the second most popular, I think, behind Luffy. So maybe they were like, let's just let the hype build up or something.
Hmm.
It's interesting,
I'm
but
just
I don't know.
hoping.
I would assume they would have done the monster trio first.
Yeah,
I would have thought so too.
I'm just hoping that you know, since Jinbei is getting his own statue and there's a bunch of rumors that Yamato might also become a straw hat, I'm just hoping that maybe Yamato will get her own statue as well.
You just want to go see your titties.
Look,
Them bronze biddies.
look, I personally before I die want to go there and go see each of the statues, but that's not why. I just think Yamato's a dope character. And she
Bro,
got
imagine
some
a
really
Weebly
good.
comic podcast trip to Tokyo.
That'd be sick.
That'd be
That would be
crazy.
sick. But aside from that, that's literally all of the news really. Aside from the first 8 chapters of Stone Ocean hit Crunchyroll this week. I don't know why they only did the first 8, but
Like manga wise, or
yeah.
okay.
Yeah, because I read through all of it and it literally stops, I think, like in the middle of episode 3, which I thought was really weird.
I don't know. They
I
always
mean,
release JoJo manga and Shonen Jump like at a
Like in
very like
like
slow pace.
yeah, like slowly and in like chunks.
Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense to me.
binge read my
Everything
guy.
for a Netflix series,
You
probably.
can't binge read with 8 chapters, especially
Sure you
since
can.
there's 12 episodes and the 8 chapters stops in the middle of like the 3rd or 4th episode.
I just want the
Nah,
anime
it's
to come back.
fine.
I don't know what they're doing with it, but it's a crime we don't know.
For real. But yeah, as I was saying, that's all of the news that we have pertaining to anime for this week. So let's just dive straight in with. Oh wait, actually, there's one more piece of news I completely forgot about because I skipped it on purpose. So Attack on Titan is confirmed to be ending on March 27th, and of course, we all pretty much expected it to be roughly 12 episodes, but it is confirmed to be exactly 12 episodes. And with it being confirmed to be 12 episodes, there's also an increased amount of speculation that that rumored movie we've been talking about is definitely looking like it's going to happen. So, how do you feel about being wrong, Adrian?
Mad as hell, because
we about to wait 3 years for this goddamn movie.
yes. I just want to see it all animated,
Bro,
man. I wanted to
I
see the people who were mad at the ending have the anime people who are casual watchers have their own opinions on the fucking ending. But no, we're gonna have to wait fucking 2 to 3 years for this shit to come out.
I'm so upset that Jay couldn't be here. R.I.P. the homie. He's sick. Because I feel like he would kill for this piece of news and to be able to say anything, but unfortunately he died. R.I.P. But anyways, moving on.
Bro, hold on.
What?
All I'm saying, bro, is these Mappa employees, they must like eat, sleep, and breathe at the goddamn animation studio.
I'm pretty sure
Cause,
that like all of them live inside of the Mappa studio.
bruh, not like,
Wouldn't doubt it.
cause the other piece of news I sent this week is that I don't know if it's confirmed or if it's a rumor, but apparently Mappa picked up to do the anime adaptation of Solo Leveling.
Oh yeah, I
And
forgot.
wow, that makes me so happy because Solo Leveling, like the artwork in the mangas and stuff or manhwas, I listen, I'm confused about that. I'll be honest, whatever. But the artwork in those are already like colored and like they're beautiful. Like they are such good artwork. So like it can't just have this doo doo like animation. So it needs to be like picked up by someone good or like whoever picks it up needs to do their like do it justice.
Yeah.
And like, of course, I'm happy to see that it would be Mappa because like everyone trusts Mappa. Like if it gets picked up by Mappa, you get in like some top tier animation. But like, bro, Chainsaw Man, Attack on Titan, Jujutsu Kaisen, and then well, I think they got Spy Family too,
Yeah,
bruh.
they do.
No, Mad Fan.
Or
No,
is it Wit
they,
that has Spy Family?
that's wit.
Okay.
Oh well,
Either way,
there's
both
another
of
one
these
I think they're
fucking
missing.
studios, bro.
But like, dude, like honestly, I would have been happy if like Ufotable, the animation studio for Demon Slayer, would have picked them up. Like I would have been happy with that even. Like just to give freaking Mappa employees a break, cause whew, but I'm also like, maybe they just got hella workers that can cycle through it because think about it, they have some of the top animes out right now.
Yeah.
And Chainsaw Man's gonna skyrocket to probably one of the top animes. I mean, I'm only like 20 something chapters in, and I'm already like, all right, this is kind of fire. We'll talk
Oh
about that
yeah.
later. But like, they must be raking in some good amount of money to where they could probably like take care of their employees and get a bunch of employees to be able to handle the load. At least I would hope so.
Yeah, I hope so
But
too.
like,
Cause like,
they deserve the world for the stuff they're producing at this moment, bro. Like, god damn. Oh my god, and they got Hell's Paradise.
oh yeah, yeah, yeah,
Bruh,
yeah, yeah.
bruh. I knew we were missing one, but like, bro, that like that's insane. And honestly, like shout out to Mappa. Please, I hope to God you guys are treating your employees right. I hope they're all doing good. They're all healthy, like cuz bless their hearts. They got hella work to be doing, but they're making all of it worth watching and absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah,
So,
bro.
that's my piece about the Attack on Titan movie. It wasn't really about the movie, it was about Mappa. The movie, if they do the movie, kind of fuck you because that's kind of messed up. We've already been waiting hella long for Attack on Titan. But
I
what
mean,
I
at
hope they
this
do
point,
is they
dude, it's
end
to
it.
be expected.
I mean, what I would rather or what I would hope for them to do is like do an ending for the anime and then the movie is like maybe like a separate ending since Attack on Titan is kind of rumored to be a multiple like timeline running thing. I don't know if you guys have heard about that
I
theory.
have,
I think
yeah.
that'd be
Okay.
cool, and I would be okay with a movie at that point. But like, I don't know.
See,
It's
my
just a
only
lot.
my only thing is that like if there is like a quote unquote anime only ending, then that would be kind of fucked because like, you know, at this point the first what, 2 episodes were only like a chapter a piece, and this episode was like what, 1.5 chapters or something?
Half.
It was half a chapter?
No, it's
Yep.
1.5.
Oh, okay, yeah. So, like, I just like from my understanding of what like all of the manga readers that I know have been saying is that like, they can't do everything that's left in 12 episodes, especially at this point. So they would have to cut a bunch of shit or speed run through a bunch of shit to get, an ending for episode 12. So I just hope that there isn't an a quote unquote anime only ending for episode 12, and then they do the final arc for the movie, because that's what the
I'm
rumor is that final arc is going to be the whole movie.
I kind of like I like the idea that the manga and the anime are like two different running timelines and stuff like that. Um, I personally like my take on this is it would encourage the people who are anime only to at least read like the ending of the manga,
Yeah.
and that could open up their love for manga. Because while animes are great, I do think mangas deserve the love because as we've seen with multiple different series, the
At
artwork
Tokyo.
like in Tokyo, but like no, not even just that, just like the difference in scenes between the manga and the actual anime since they have to like censor certain things,
Yeah.
like you
Oh,
know,
this episode of
like
Attack on Titan, which we will talk about, is like a perfect example, because there's this one portion of the episode that is completely different from like the manga. But continue.
but like and it's a lot like Bleach too, I think. They censor a lot of the stuff that happens in Bleach, like the anime, they make it kind of not as gruesome. Um, and it's just like for example, I'm kind of worried about Chainsaw Man. Again, I'm only 20 chapters in, and it's like it's gruesome. Um, I mean, just the idea of what Denji is gruesome. So seeing that kind of censored, I'll be fine because I've read the manga, so I got to enjoy the actual like art and like what it was meant to be, not like the censored version. But like I said,
See,
like even One Piece is a really good example.
yeah.
Like you told me with Whitebeard, when spoilers alert, just in case someone's watching through it, you might want to skip this next like 20-30 seconds. I'll try to talk fast so it's not too much. But the scene where Whitebeard is like standing there and Marineford, you
Yeah.
told me like half his face is like kind of
Blown off.
gone.
Yeah.
But yeah, but in the anime, he just has like a black hole, I think, in the middle of his stomach or something like that.
Not
And
even
it's just
that. He
not
like
He
what
loses a part of his mustache
Yeah, he
too, but that's
loses
about it.
just a
yeah,
part of his mustache, and that's like it.
yeah. And so, I think sometimes it's good to look at the original things and like see the original source and what it was meant to be like. Cause, you think of One Piece and you're like, it's brutal, but it's not like that gruesome. But then you look at the manga and you're like, damn,
Yeah.
shit ain't sweet. Like, so I don't know. Like, I think more people should give manga a chance. I think a lot of people are, oh, I don't read. It's like, dude, you don't have to like reading to pick up the manga and be like, wow, this is dope. Like, this is sick. I'm one of those people. I don't really like reading, but I keep up with manga constantly. Like I'm reading multiple right now. I just picked up another one, and I would have never expect to like genuinely want to read manga, but
Well,
after being able to experience it, it's just so nice.
so for me, given the type of manga that Chainsaw Man is, I'm not really worried about it being censored, because there's plenty of like horror animes that are very gruesome. And personally, I think that Chainsaw Man fits in more of like a horror genre than anything else, because there's a lot of body horror, there's a lot of like just really
Gruesomeness.
I would say
gruesome
it's
and fucked up
sort of
things. So,
his
what,
thing
Adrian?
from. I would say it's like the safest for like it's like it is like borderline horror aesthetics, but it's like this very like closest thing Shonen Jump can get to like a horror aesthetic like type of thing.
Yeah, cuz like it's like too violent for it to, well, like, I know you're not that far, Brennan, but like the further that you get, you would have to cut or censor the fuck out of so much that I don't feel like it's worth censoring like that. So I'm not really worried, because if they did censor as much as like, they do with One Piece, Naruto, for example, there are some scenes in Naruto that got censored to hell, that are like to the point where it's completely different from how it is in the manga. Like, I don't think that that would happen, because at that rate you would just end up changing what Chainsaw Man is. You know what I mean? So
Mhm.
I'm not really that worried. But yeah, I think Mappa's got it, dude. I would love to see like a horror aesthetic from Mappa because I feel like that would just be insane, which is what
Oh,
Chainsaw Man will be, which is why I love the thought of them doing it.
yeah. I'm just saying, like, I think more people should be more open to
Oh yeah, yeah, and like
like going and reading the source material because it's just even the artwork of like how the certain scenes go. Like I saw this one where it was Vinland Saga, and like just the artwork itself is beautiful, but like it just makes all these scenes like a little more intense, you know.
yeah,
So
I
like
was 100.
go read
percent
the manga, you know. And I think it, like I said, with it being a movie or with it being separate from the manga, I think it would encourage people, like, because they'll be curious, so they'll want to go read the manga ending even if it's just the last couple chapters,
I'm
and it
not
could spark,
sure.
you know,
Now,
like maybe like them to want to check it out, and it could spark like a little like, oh, maybe I should read, you know, certain things.
I'm not really sure because like Tokyo Ghoul, like I might mention or was like saying earlier, like Tokyo Ghoul is a prime example because, the first season follows the manga to a T, second season does something completely fucking different from the manga. And then third season, which is Tokyo Ghoul Re, just does whatever, like just continues on like season 2 followed the manga. And out of all the people that I know that have watched all of it, like they either A didn't know and just were confused as hell, like even like Jay and I were when we like were watching Tokyo Ghoul Re, we were like what the fuck is going on? Or like they watched all of it and just didn't really care because of it confusing them so much. And like I'm really the only person I know that is aware of the fact that season 2 didn't follow the manga and went and read the manga. So like now granted, Tokyo Ghoul is nowhere near as popular as Attack on Titan is or ever, like it was never even really like crazy popular to my knowledge at least. But just given that like not really many people went to go read Tokyo Ghoul's manga despite all of that with the anime, I'm not really sure if that'll happen with Attack on Titan. Obviously, it should,
I would
but
also argue though that social media isn't as big of a thing as it, or like it's bigger now than it was back then when Tokyo Ghoul was released.
yeah,
And I think with social media it would be like, oh, it's so cool, like this ending was different from this ending, like you should go read both so that you can kind of decide which one you like more. Like I just, it would, I think there'd be enough people who would actually go read, because like I said, it's not even like, oh, you don't even have to read like the whole, you know, back half. You just have to read the last like, you know, 10 chapters or so. So it's not
yeah,
like you'd be reading a lot. So that would be my argument, is more of like there'd be more social media coverage, and you know, because think eventually you have to, that's exactly what happened with me in Solo Leveling, and I love Solo Leveling now because like I just kept seeing it on my, you know, both on Instagram and on TikTok, and I'm like, bro, what is this? Why is everyone like, bro, this is so good, or da 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 da, this is one of the best, da da da. You know, I'm like, you know what? Screw it. I'm gonna check it out. Like I had free time. I was freaking on quarantine, so I was like, screw it. I might as well. And I read the whole thing in like freaking 12 hours. Like, bro, like it's just, you know, eventually you got to get curious enough to like want to. And that was me reading an entire series. This is, we're talking, you know, a couple chapters.
yeah.
So, and same thing with Tokyo Ghoul. We're talking like you got to read the entire essential. Like you might as well, if you read the quote unquote season 2 of it,
You
you
might
might
as
as
well
well just
just
finish reading
yeah,
all of it. You know, so that's also like, well, if I read the season 2 and then just jump back on the anime, I might as well just read all of it instead of, you know, read season 2 and then hop back on the anime, unless you like it enough to where you want to do both.
yeah,
But, you know, we're talking a couple chapters. I think more people would be at least a little more open because they'd get curious enough. They're like, I wonder how different it is, and I wonder what it would be like. And then you would have 3 endings. Imagine like the movie is like another separate ending, and you could just read all 3 of them and be like,
technically
man,
4,
this
but
one was
yeah.
the best or whatever. For whatever. Like, I don't know. I think it'd be a cool concept and I'd enjoy it, but I know a lot of other people would probably be like, "Damn, now I got to freaking watch 3 separate ones and then also read this one to like kind of get an idea of how it ends." Or maybe all 3 of them or 4 of them kind of interject in a way.
Maybe.
Um but I don't know. I think it'd be a cool idea. A lot of people would probably disagree, but
It'd be like that. But with all of that said, Adrian, do you have anything to add or no?
No, y'all pretty much just covered a lot of the things that I would have talked on anyways.
All
Other
right.
than I know that can like provide another example of like Death Note, but Death Note, regardless of how popular it is not as popular as Attack on Titan.
Yeah.
Because I don't think a lot of y'all even know this, but did you know the anime's ending and the manga ending are not completely different, but they are different?
What for Death Note?
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks to Emily, I was pretty much very well aware that there was a thing, but like before she told me, I had no idea.
Yeah, I didn't figure that out till recently either, which was mind-boggling, but it's pretty good. I would just say like read from the source material too, like
Yeah.
support the anime and the manga too, because
And like
I know you may like the manga more.
yeah, cuz like for example for me, and like we're going to move on to Attack on Titan, but I just wanted to like say this as like a example. But like I hate reading. I hate reading so much. Like in high school whenever we had to read a book, I never read the book. Like
Give him that shit, boy.
I didn't care. Like I really did not care enough about my grades to like read a whole entire book and make a report about it. So I just took the F and just moved on. But at the time, Tokyo Ghoul was my favorite anime. So hearing the news about how like yes, season 2 is good, but it's not from the source material. So in spite of not really wanting to read, I did want to know how season 2 was supposed to go, and so, Re could make sense to me because Re just made 0 sense whatsoever. And after reading it, I was like, "Damn, it's like reading a comic kind of, but like even then like sometimes I go through waves of where I don't really care for to read comics, but like with manga, at least, within the last 4 years, I want to say, like there has not been a single time where I'm like, I just don't want to read anything because if for me, like if I get not bored, but if I feel like I'm reading too much of something and I want like a little change, I could just go start reading something else. Like for prime example, while I'm reading Bleach, I also read a bunch of Black Clover. I went, I got a little bit tired of Black Clover, so I went to My Hero, caught up with My Hero, went back to Bleach, went back to Black Clover, read some quintessential quintuplets, went back to Bleach. Now I'm reading Fire Force. Like I feel like it's manga is diverse enough to where you could literally just, put something down, read something else and be just as entertained just like with an anime. So, plus you get to see a lot of cool ass art. And I feel like, what's it called? There's so much effort put into it that it like when you see all the little details and shit, it like makes you really excited. Is that just me?
Oh no, 100%. That's like one of the good things about manga is just like you see like the little details and you like they can convey a different message than what the anime could do.
Yeah.
So
But like there's also, upsides to anime as well, which I don't want to get ahead of ourselves, but like we're going to start talking about Attack on Titan literally right after this, so I don't care really. But in the newest episode of Attack on Titan, spoiler alert, so, skip to whatever if you don't want to be spoiled and you haven't seen it yet. But in that scene right before Gabby shoots Aaron in the fucking neck, like there was no like freeze frame indication in the manga. It was just a decision that Mappa made to do that. And I feel like that is like the best scene in Attack on Titan for me personally, just because like it's such an interesting artistic choice. I just love the fact that like they gave everybody's perspective in that moment when Gabby pulled the trigger, and like even the moments afterwards. It just I can't stop gushing about it, but at the same time I don't like have good words for it cuz I fucking suck at describing things. But it was just such a good decision that they made, which is why, reading the source material is great, but also watching it is also just as great. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
yeah, for sure.
But with that being said, let's start talking about Attack on Titan episode 3, which if you weren't aware, I don't know if this is true anymore, but at the time of it airing, it was the highest rated episode of Attack on Titan period with a perfect 10 out of 10, which I think it more than deserves, because I'm not gonna lie, this might be not like from a story standpoint, I don't think it's my favorite episode, but from like a action, um like
Intensity.
intensity, artistic, definitely from an artistic. I fucking whoever's the director of this show or this anime needs an award like right the fuck now, cuz from a cinematic standpoint, this is my fucking favorite episode, because that freeze frame thing, as well as the stuff that happened with Aaron and Zeke afterwards. It was just perfect for me. Like this episode was definitely a 10 out of 10 and well deserves it. But Brennan,
Well, homo.
what do you got to say? I know you're eating, but what do you got to say?
So I'm gonna be honest, bro. Watching this episode, I was on the edge of my seat the entire time,
Yeah,
and
same.
like, I'm gonna be honest, when Gabby pulled that trigger and his head literally flew off, my jaw dropped. I was like, God damn.
Oh yeah. My
I was like, this 13-year-old little girl just
phase
did the
Two
one
for two.
Gabby.
thing.
2 for
Phase
2.
Literally,
Gabby.
she did the one thing that like literally no one could possibly do except for like probably Levi and Mikasa. Like those are probably the only two who could ever pull something off like that. And she's just out here like, bro, I'm a menace with the sniper, bro. Like, bro, like I saw a picture and she deserved it, bro, because FaZe gave her the good old FaZe red tiger camo, bro, and she deserves that, bro. But like, but this episode was like super crazy with how like Reiner was, tackling Aaron and the Jaw Titan, and even dude when uh when Falco and his brother ran up to Zeke and was like, oh, don't yell, like wait until we can get him out of here, and Zeke's like, I get it, like you want to protect your brother, it's that brotherly bond, but I'm sorry, my brother's bond is more important, bro.
Yeah, dude, my
And
my jaw dropped when he started yelling, and then it just stayed on the floor until pretty much the end of the episode, because it was just back to back, bro. Back to fucking back.
now I will say the only thing that like I wish Attack on Titan would have done a little more. I don't know how everyone else feels about him, but the Jaw Titan dude honestly had no care in the world for him. Like
No, dude, literally I fucking
such a
hate
little thing,
Porco or
such a
Porco,
little
whatever the
thing.
hell his
Like,
name is.
see, I didn't even remember his name, bro. Like, I felt no, like he was such an insignificant character to me that I really did not like care at all.
Yeah, and then
And
they tried to have like an emotional beat with him towards the end, like
but
right
like
before
he was
Falco ate him, and I'm like, I don't
But, like, here's
care,
my thing
bro.
with that. They didn't even make it emotional. Like, to me, I was just like, "Oh, so he's a dickhead from, like from beginning when we meet him to the end." Like, this dude, like, really just hates on Reiner because, his brother got killed or whatever, or, like, he didn't deserve to be the armor titan or whatever. But, like, I'm just like, "Bro, like, what you don't even try." Like, I was talking to Adrian about this earlier today, but now every other character like this that I know of has had, a redeeming moment, but I really have a mixed feeling about those characters that are just D-bags and they don't try to like understand the other person that they like at the moment hate, like with like absolute passionate to their core hate. So like an example would be like the one that I gave Adrian was Sasuke with Kakashi. And the moment where Sasuke is getting like he's starting to kind of turn against the village and the people inside the village, Kakashi like ties him to a tree and is like, you need to like chill, like you need to let go of this hatred and shit. And Sasuke just yells at him like, you wouldn't understand all your family and friends being killed. And he's like, how would you feel if I killed everyone you loved? And Kakashi just kind of looks to the sky and is like, that's an interesting theory and it would work.
Yeah,
However, all those people are dead.
yeah,
And Sasuke has to take a step back and is like, oh shit, like you right. And like, but it's that type of thing where you kind of see in their face where they get taken back, right? Porco doesn't have that, bro. He does not care about Reiner till the end, and I'm just like, bruh, like,
I'm not gonna lie,
like,
dude. When Falco
Like,
took a bite out of that motherfucker, I was so happy.
oh yeah, me too. I like, thank
Damn.
God, bro. Get out of here, bro. I'm sick of you. And like, he even says like, oh, I saw my brother's memories, and like, you know, he did it to protect me. And then he was like, now I'm better than you, because now it's gonna eat me instead of you. Look, now I'm protecting the kid, and I'm protecting you. It's like, bro, get out of here. I'm so sick of you. You are bitter till the end. I hate you.
Well, and for me, I'm like, who cares, bro? Like, who
Shut up,
genuinely
Falco.
cares, dude?
Falco's better than you, anyways.
I'm not gonna lie, bro. I started crying when fucking Falco turned into a Titan. I was like, ain't no way, bro. Cause I wasn't even thinking about like him eating Porco or Reiner being a thing. I was just distraught, bro. Cause like I really didn't think that Zeke yelling was like going to be a factor, and just like how amazed I was this whole episode just like blows my mind. And I'm not gonna lie, bro, when he yells and they like, pan to Gabby, I felt bad for about 2.5 seconds. Then I
Shut up,
remembered
fake is Gabby.
it's Gabby, and I was like, fuck that bitch.
On the real though, Falco deserved the armor Titan.
Oh yeah.
I wish he would have got. I don't know how y'all feel about the Jaw Titan, but that is literally the worst Titan to have.
I don't know, man, cuz like I think Porco
I
made
will-
it really like an interesting Titan. And I'm actually
Ah,
really
smack the hell
excited
out of
to
him.
see I'm really excited to see what Falco looks like if he does. Like whenever or if he does turn into
Let me
the Jaw
rephrase
Titan.
that. Sorry, the Cart Titan is probably the worst one to have,
The Cart
but Jaw
Titan's
Titan
not
is a close
interesting
second.
whatsoever.
Jaw
Yeah,
Titan's a
Card
close
Titans,
second for me.
Card Titans is kind of shitty to be
Yeah.
honest. But
Yeah, but like, I don't know. I'm not a big fan. Like, I liked it when Ymir used it and she messed up all those like Titans.
Yeah.
But like now seeing like Aaron, Reiner, the Colossal and stuff, I'm like, damn, bro. So you really will get smacked. Like you, like, like you're fast and stuff. But like when it comes down to it, like Aaron countered you every single time he fought you. But and I don't know. I just Falco the way he was, like how protective he was of not only like Gabby, but like almost in everything that he did. He was always trying to protect people, and I think the armored Titan is best used when trying to protect.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously he's the armored. I just think it would have fit a little better. But that's me personally. I don't know how the future's gonna go. I don't know how he's gonna end up using the Jaw Titan, so I could be wrong, and I'm open to being wrong.
Yeah.
But I would have just enjoyed seeing him become the armored Titan more.
Well, it's kind of like with Armin, you know what I mean? Cuz like Armin doesn't like killing people, but yet he has the most lethal Titan out of all of them.
Oh,
yeah,
you know what I saw about that? So I don't know how true this is, but like Armin's Colossal Titan doesn't have ears
uh
and it looks hella depressed. And someone pointed out it could be because since your Titan kind of reflects like you, he doesn't like killing people and he doesn't want to hear the screams and the
Yeah.
terror that he creates. So I thought that was like a cool little detail.
I don't think that's like a theory. I'm pretty sure that was like purposeful.
I'm pretty sure that
Cuz
yeah,
like
that's like on
that's what I
Oh,
took it as, is like that's why he looks like that, because he said it several times that he doesn't like being the
mhm.
Colossal Titan.
But it's super sick. Like it's such a cool little detail.
Oh yeah, 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 yeah. I'm not going to lie. I have a slight issue with Aaron's head falling in Zeke's hand, purely
why.
because that's an anti-material rifle that she fucking shot. If in real life, granted, again, in real life, if you get shot by an anti-material rifle, not only is whatever is hitting that bullet is gone, but also everything around that bullet is just gone. So the fact that his head was there and didn't go flying like 600 feet, kind of like, I have to like, give it some grace because it's an anime, you know what I mean? But like,
What armor, my boy?
yeah, literally, like I was like, of course it would end up in Zeke's hand. And like, of
Yeah.
course, it would be a completely intact head. Now, granted, I don't
Mm.
know if in the manga it was completely intact.
It was.
It was, yeah. So that was my only nitpick, but it was still such a sick scene. And
I got a question for you, Diego.
what?
So this is reverting back to like the first episode. How do you feel about figuring out who that little girl is?
Let's just talk about that actually. Now, granted, like I'm not surprised that it's Ymir. I don't want to say like, oh, I figured it was Ymir, but like I'm not surprised because I was like, there's got to be significance to this chick. So in when Zeke catches Aaron's head, they go into the I don't even know what the hell it's called, like the Tree of Life plane or whatever the fuck it's actually called. Um,
I forgot the name of it. I know they had a name, but I can't be
yeah, I
Just
don't
think
know.
of it as like a realm
like
where
a
they go
limbo.
to contact like I think the past like founder Titan, and I mean I would assume like anyone who has Titan powers can go there.
Yeah,
I would
I have no
assume.
Yeah,
idea.
they can.
But
Um,
dude, that whole scene, I'm not gonna lie, dude. Literally, they were like Aaron and Zeke were talking, and Zeke was like, "All right, Aaron, now use the power of the Titan to euthanize all the Eldians." And Aaron's like, "The fuck? I'm not. Like, what?" And I'm not even gonna lie to you, bro. Like the moment that I saw those words on the screen, I picked up my phone and I started texting Javen immediately. And I was like, I fucking knew it. I fucking knew that he was using Zeke. Because from the moment that they were like, oh, he's evil now, I was like, bitch, no, he's not. And I'm so glad I fucking saw that, because I'm not even gonna lie to you, bro. That like instantly made Aaron like top 5 protagonists. Like that one scene, because I'm just like, he really did all of this just to play Zeke, and inevitably
so
he got
you
played. But
wait. So do you think Zeke is evil for what he wanted to do?
I don't think he's evil. But I don't think that I don't think he's evil. But I don't. That's fucked up. Like
So
I get his
you think
reasoning.
it's
I get his
so you
reasoning.
think it's messed up that he just wants to slowly, like, of course, not even really kill anyone. He just wants to slowly kind of rid the world of people who could become Titans, but still let the ones who are alive live out their lives. Like, I mean, of course, you can play the kind of like, oh, but it's messed up they can't have kids, because it is like it sucks. You don't get to enjoy certain aspects of life, but you still get to live out your life, and slowly the world will get rid of like the Titans at least. In my opinion, I'm curious to kind of see where Aaron wants to go with things, but I think that's a very good like outcome to have of it, to just like I mean, of course I could see how Connie's like, bro, I want to have kids, but also just Titans being around, like it's hard to get rid of a war because you're never going to get rid of the fear of like, dude, your kid could grow up and be like, yo, screw this, we should be running everything, like we can become Titans, bro. Like, why are we sitting here like scared of everything? Like, let's just go run them all over and just take control of everything. So, like, you're never going to get rid of, like, the fear of that war and other people wanting to kind of take you out. And then, kind of like to Aaron's, like, wish, you're not really free because you can't go and just live with everyone else and be chill because everyone's going to be scared of you, which means you're probably going to be secluded, whether it be on an island or just in a separate part of the world. So you're never truly free. So Zeke's way is like, listen, we can all live freely because we're all euthanized. So no matter what, when we die, we die. So you might as well not try to push your luck, because if you die pushing your luck, that's it. You're done. Like there is no coming back. You're not gonna have kids. You're not gonna have like a legacy to live off of. There's no one to pass it down to. So in my opinion, I feel like that is like,
The
dude,
smartest
that's like,
option.
yeah, and like I would have never thought of that. Like, oh, let's just euthanize them, and then after we
He
euthanize them, like it's
told people this, and no one was like wanting to listen just because it's like it's fucked up. I'm like, yeah, it's fucked up, but like the whole thing
realistically.
is like is they're gonna be war regardless if they both exist. So like if they slowly take one out like peacefully and not like, oh, I can't even have children. What's the point of killing me? Because we're all gonna die as a race. Then it's really just you just have to wait it out. So like that's
Hmm.
why I say it's like the safest. Yeah, safest and like smartest option for them.
And you can end the war. The Eldians can like finally kind of live freely because no one's scared of them, you know, turning into a Titan and trying to take over the world. And you don't have to worry about them creating more offspring that can do that. Like it's just, I was like, I, I of course I see their point and how they're like, we want to be able to live. Like I guess that's still in Aaron's mind. It's not truly free because you can't like have kids, so you're not free to really live life, but it's the most free you're gonna get without having a war and having to worry about all the other stuff. Like so I like as of right now, I'm low key kind of Team Zeke.
I feel like that's very naive and kind of ignorant because even if they do get euthanized, that war is not going to stop. And it's not going to stop the oppression of the Eldians in Marley, even if that war, even if everybody on that island ended up getting killed after they all got euthanized. It's still not going to stop that oppression. So,
Well, thing was
But
for Zeke was to use not only the euthanization but also the rumbling too, because he did state it within, like he did state it with Aaron. He said we can do the rumbling after.
well, yeah, but
So
like,
the
what's the point of the rumbling if the rumbling
it's
is just
like scare.
meaningless at that point? Because the way that I see it is the rumbling is to send a message to all the nations to just leave them the fuck alone and just let them do what they do on that island. And, if some Eldians want to leave, then just let them leave. But if you euthanize all of the Eldians and still carry out the war, what's the point of the war? You're just
that's
fighting
the
to
thing.
fight at that point. You're not
You
fighting for a
so
Kind of
purpose.
euthanization.
so you use the rumbling and now everyone's like oh shit, like they could literally just send those things over here and take us all out. So then you leave them alone, which means the Eldians get to live a careless free life of not worrying about anyone coming to mess with them. By the time anyone's like, okay, maybe we should mess with them, they're probably all going to be dead because it's going to take time for people to not be scared of going over there, and they're going to be scared of like, oh well, if we go over there, like they got hella big titans that are just going to wipe everyone out. So that means again the Eldians can just live a careless free life. They don't have to worry about it because the big titans that were going to kill them were essentially being created by the Marleyans, so they wouldn't get those anymore. To where they don't have to live inside those walls, they can freely live, and then they'll just all kind of you know fodder out. Or you don't do that, you continue fighting a war that's just never even gonna have a chance. No, like you're always scared of like, oh, is this guy gonna attack? Oh, is this guy gonna attack? Like it's no matter what, it's like you said, there's kind of gonna be a war. But if you euthanize and then you do the rumbling, everyone gets to live out their life. There should be a pause to the war. By the time they want to restart the war, they're going to go over there and realize they're all dead and gone. So now it's like they can then go and live their lives freely without worrying about, oh, are these big titans going to go or come and kill us? Um, I mean, if you don't euthanize and you continuously have titans, it's just an endless war that's going to go on forever until I don't know, maybe one side gets lucky enough to wipe out the other side completely.
Um, I disagree because either way, eh, because if you look at it like this, at this point, Titans are slowly becoming what's it called?
A superpower.
No, because they have weapons to take out Titans now. So they're
Oh
becoming less of
So
a
you feel
threat.
like they're less threatened?
Yeah, they're becoming less of a threat. I mean, yes, sure, they have to be on giant ass fucking, you know, other Titans or on like in like a tank or something, but there's a way to get rid of them now. So
Okay,
there's
so
no
do you think
point
with their weapons they could kill Armin? Like in his colossal form? Do you think they're
eventually
gonna do damage to him?
eventually yes.
Okay, so now keep in mind, you said eventually, right?
Yeah.
Keep in mind the rumbling, the things that are inside the wall are all colossal titans.
I'm very very well aware of that.
So you're saying they couldn't even right now at this moment take out someone Armin level.
But what I'm
So
saying
now,
is, if they, the rumbling carries through and, Aaron's side wins, then yes, sure, the world's going to be scared of the Eldians still. Like, I'm not saying that that's not going to happen. But after 30, 40, maybe 50 years, they're going to have weapons that are going to be able to deal with them if they decide to attack.
Diego, that's where you're mistaken. I don't think the rumbling is like stopping at scaring them. I think if it's carried out, it's, hey, mess with us and you're all dead. Every single one of you that's not on this island is dead. I don't think it's they stop at, the edge of the island and they don't, I'm pretty sure all those big colossal titans, they walk to the ends of the earth and they just take out everything. And with the way Aaron is looking and acting upon the things, I'm almost positive he plan. If that's not what the OG plan was for like what the rumbling is, I'm pretty sure his plan is take all these colossal titans, and there is no 30, 40, 50 years down the road. It's, hey, all y'all go wipe out everyone, and we on the island are able to do whatever we want because, I mean, he's got the founding power, so no Titan is going to go mess with him, and he just sends all the rest of them out to go kill everybody. Like, I don't think, like, you're thinking this is a war that would continue
Disagree.
on. No,
Very
I'm
heavily
pretty
disagree.
sure he would. I, I mean, you're entitled to your opinion, but
Look, I'm not
the
saying
way I see Aaron right now
I'm not
is.
saying that it's going to stop at the edges of the island. Yeah, they're probably going to go to war with Marley and fuck the shit out of Marley. But beyond Marley, unless other nations decide to attack them, I don't see Aaron being that vengeful fucking person who's going to be like, yeah, so since Marley hates us and you guys are pretty much all on the same page as Marley, even though you haven't attacked us, fuck you guys. We're going to kill you all. I don't think that Aaron would do that.
What do you think that whole meeting was in the beginning? That dude was trying to rally the world to
Yes,
go
and it
kill
failed.
everyone because Aaron broke it all off.
Yeah. I don't think that
So what
Aaron's going to
makes you
go
think?
after everybody else when they haven't gone for him yet. I think that he's going to, like I said, I think that if no one else joins after the war with Marley is said and done, then that's it. They're going to establish a perimeter and be like, hey, if you cross this line with hostile intentions, we're coming for you because we can. Like, that is
But
truly
see,
what I
at that
believe that the
point,
point of the
but
rumbling
at
is. But I'm
but
saying
at
that
that
after
point,
a certain amount of time, there is no point in being scared of that ever looming threat because, yes, they're going to be very well aware of what the Titans can do. So they're going to put billions and billions and billions, every single nation that has the money, into R&D to get weapons that can deal with Titans of Armin's level, of all of the other, colossal Titan level. Like,
But exactly, that's my point. After he wipes out Marley and says, "Don't cross this line," right? He's gonna that's instilling fear.
yeah.
But then Aaron's gonna also think about it. Well, like so all the people who were at the thing that the homeboy was holding, trying to rally everyone, right? He takes out Marley. Everyone's like, oh, so that dude is right. Like, they're a threat to all of humanity, right? So now Aaron's thinking, well, if I wipe them out, they've already now seen that I have the power to wipe out like cities that go against me. So now they're all probably going to want to rally against me. So why wouldn't he just be like, screw it? Like, I'll just take them all out and it'll just be Eldians for the rest of the time. Because to be
Because I don't
honest,
think
Aaron
Aaron's
only
like that.
cares about the Eldians.
I don't think Aaron's
I,
like that.
Listen, bro, the way he took out the Warhammer Titan and, wiped out that Marley city, bro, I don't think he really cares for anyone except for the Eldians.
Bro, because
He
Marley
had
was actively attacking them his entire fucking life.
Yes.
So yeah, he's
So
gonna
so
hold a
after you
grudge
wipe
against
out
Marley.
Marley,
But
okay,
he
but
doesn't
after
have
you
a
wipe out
grudge. He
Marley,
has
now
no
everyone's
reason to attack the rest of the world.
the reason is for the future of the Eldians, bro. His future kids, the Eldians'
Look,
future
I don't
kids.
think you and I
You
are
don't
gonna
take
see
out the
eye
whole
to
world.
eye on this.
bruh, he has more of a reason to wipe out everyone
I
else
don't
because, like
think
you
so,
said, he
dude.
knows everyone. If you know everyone is going to rally and then create weapons that are for sure going to be able to take you out, why would you not take them out before they get to that point?
Because
When you know that's going to happen.
it's the same reason as why he's attacking Marley, just for survival. I'm sure he's going to understand that. Bro, there's been enough betrayal in this fucking, like, in this, like, just the island. Enough betrayal just in the island that I think he's going to understand that, yes, there are some fucked up people, but there's also good people too. I mean, he's seen it in Falco. So why wouldn't he see it in the rest of the world? Because if he truly didn't give a shit about anybody but the people on that island, then Falco would not be alive.
I mean, I would argue. I mean, he turned Titan right in front of Falco.
Yes, and he
That's not something that a
apologized to
lot of
Falco.
people.
He felt bad about the fact that Falco probably wouldn't die if it weren't for Rainer, or probably would have died if it weren't for Rainer.
Listen, bro. All I'm saying is, to me personally, Aaron right now seems like the type of person who would let me just wipe out the threat before it becomes a threat to my people. And in my opinion, I think he would just wipe out everyone just to, because again, his point is to live free. When you leave it up to the point where, like, hey, these people might come and attack, like, X amount of years down the line, and they might create weapons that can take out any and like every and any of us. In my opinion, I feel like he would think about it and just be like, well, I want to live as free as possible, and having that looming over my head ain't going to be free. So I'm just going to go ahead and take out everyone. I mean, and it's not even in a vengeance sense to me. Like, I think you think it's him wanting to kill the Marleyans over a grudge.
I don't think it's over
I
a
don't
grudge. I
think
think it's
he's.
just over the necessity to protect,
Well,
like,
yeah, and
the
I think
aliens.
he's going to extend that into the point of, like, well, I'm going to make sure we good for the rest of our lives. And
I
so, like,
think I don't know. I look personally, the way that I see Aaron's character, I don't think that is him. I don't, and that's just me. You're allowed to feel the way that you feel, and we'll see.
yeah, agree to
But
disagree.
yeah, like, agree to disagree, because, like, you and I just have very different views on Aaron as a person, and that's fine. But I just don't think that he would go to that extent. Like, I do agree with you that as long as it concerns Marley, the nation of Marley, yeah, I 100% agree with you. But beyond that, no, I disagree.
Because I know I think back on the episode, they explained that the rumbling wasn't like made specifically for one nation.
Yeah,
It
but I'm
was made
pretty
like,
sure that the rumbling was just assuming that other nations were coming to fight them. I'm pretty sure that was the whole point of that discussion.
I don't know. We'll see. We'll find
Yeah,
out.
we'll see. We'll see.
Someone's finna die. So
No, a lot
and
of
by
people
someone I
finna
mean a
die.
lot of people.
Very interesting debate, I must say. Must say.
Which one of us
I
is right,
want to
Adrian?
ask, like, no, I don't. I wanted to, like,
Can't answer that.
it's hard. It's
I'm
hard
glad
because
you
I
said
want
that.
to say, like, Adrian. Adrian, I want you to answer this as, like, as if you didn't read the manga, just watching this episode, these past episodes and stuff. Like, whose side would you be more, like, willing to join? Like, would you, like, what do you think? What would you have thought? Or, like, think back to when you were watching this. What were your thoughts of, like, Aaron, and, like, what you thought, like, may or may not happen? Like, what was going through your head? Were you more of, like, Diego, like, nah, he'd probably just wipe out all of Marley and call it a day? Or do you think he was like, yo, he'll just wipe out everybody?
My thought process at the time was this the okay, so this is like when I didn't know how the rumbling was working, because
Mm-hmm.
you'll see how it works properly soon.
Mm-hmm.
But to give it like a very brief like thing, I will just say I was shook how it worked, but I shouldn't have been. I really shouldn't have been how it worked. So I just originally thought it was just going to attack Marley. Like that's just my thought process.
So you were kind of on, like, Diego's thought process.
Yeah, but I was mostly thinking of how it worked and like the rumble focus, I guess. That's all I can say.
So you were just thinking about the actual act of the rumble itself, not necessarily how Aaron specifically would use it or anything like that.
No, I was mostly thinking of like as if he can like focus him on one direction.
Hmm.
That's what I mean.
For legal
Interesting.
reasons, I'm not here, but I would like to interject.
Except for legal reasons.
I at this point in the manga when I was reading it, I thought that it wasn't even a thought. It is true. Basically, this don't worry, I'm not gonna spoil anything. But the person who had like once you can use the founding titan to his full ability, like you have royal blood, you can literally do anything you want, bro. Like you're literally
You're
maxed out
God.
at every you almost like you're god of this verse at least. You're god of
Yeah.
this verse.
Pretty
So
much.
so it Aaron, if he is able to if he's able to access it, he can do whatever he wants. So yeah, when I was reading at this point, I would assume the same things that Aaron was just using it to, you know, scare the world, you know, make Marley scared, all that kind of stuff. Maybe stomp on them a little. That was my thought process. Like, like the military places, take out like the ships and stuff, I mean, I know Armin already did that, but to do it again, bro. They rebuild it, do it again, bro. That's what I was
On a
thinking.
different scale.
Yeah. That's pretty much what I was thinking.
It's fine. I'll be a lone wolf. I guess I'm the only person who sees Aaron as a truly dark entity.
I mean, hey, he's considered the antagonist for a reason, so you might be right. You good, Lily? Okay, excuse my cat. Is that everything that you wanted to talk about, Brennan?
Listen, bro, I'm ready to get into this Demon Slayer, bro. You don't gotta ask me twice.
Yeah, because like beyond that, I don't really have much to. I think we really actually talked about everything that really happened in the episode. Like obviously,
Yeah, screw Porco. Shout out Phase Gabby.
Aaron
New
Aaron
plans.
lying to
Nice.
Zeke. I saw it, but I'm still hype as hell that it's true.
I mean, I
All
did
I'm
see
gonna
a
say is
post.
second best episode's gonna come out next week.
Yo,
Yeah, I was about to say I did see a post that said next week we really get to see a cool episode because we get to see Aaron's like actual plan, like what he was
yes
actually planning to.
sir.
Dude, I
So
hope they
actually,
have
next
the
episode we'll
panel.
figure out which one of us is right and which one of us is wrong. That's
I guess.
crazy. All right, well,
Ah,
if you're listening,
maybe.
peep next episode. But moving on, let's talk about Demon Slayer episode 15, I think is the episode. I don't remember.
About a nut, bruh.
So before we actually talk about the actual episode, there's only 3 episodes left of Demon Slayer this season, and that makes me really sad. I don't know
Makes
why
me
I'm
sad too.
surprised, cuz like I really thought that there was going to be more, but like I had to remind myself that Mugen Train existed, so yeah, just Mugen Train ate up most of the season, which makes me upset. But are you good? I'm sorry, my cat is wilding.
All I gotta say is before we even get to anything scene specific, I mean, I guess this is kind of scene specific, but bro, that fight scene was crazy. The amount of money they must have put into that fight scene, bro. Oh my god. That's
Oh
probably
yeah.
like my year's worth of earnings and money
No,
is
I am,
probably just in
dude.
that singular fight scene.
Literally, for the Tengen versus what's his face? I don't remember his name. I literally, when that scene was happening, I just kept looking at Ness, and I'm like, "This is where all of the fucking Mugen Train money went, bro."
Bro, that was literally just like beautiful to watch. That was, I'm gonna be honest, bro. That fight scene was probably better than Rengoku and Kaza's.
Oh,
That
for
was
sure.
like so much different stuff was going on and it all looked beautiful. Like it was really intense. But can we also talk about the way that, our 3 beautiful men entered?
I
Freaking
I
Inosuke
teared up a
and
little bit
Zenitsu
when
pulled up.
Tengen was just like, "That was a really flashy entrance. I'm proud of you guys." I'm like, he
Bro.
finally
Well, I
opening
mean,
up to this.
it definitely was because like Inosuke and Zenitsu just pulled up and they just stood there. They're like, "Yeah, what's up? We here now. You
I
screwed,
just love how Zenitsu looks so cold, even though this man is dead
bro."
asleep.
Trust me, you got another thing coming later on, but like they pull up, and it's cool because Zenitsu's like, in season 1 a lot of the time when he was asleep but not like doing much, he see like, and this goes to my theory of like Zenitsu grows as a person and like slowly grows into being less and less unconscious, um just due to the fact of like the first time we see him use it, he's completely unconscious, and like right after he kills the demon, he's all like loopy, right?
Yeah.
And then as the season progresses, like throughout the spiders and stuff, he opens his eyes, and of course his eyes are all white, like kind of inferring the fact of like he's still asleep, because when you fall asleep, your eyes roll to the back of your head.
Yeah.
But like he seemed like a little more self-aware, and it just seems like every time he goes into that state, at least like throughout the series and stuff, he seems to become more and more self-aware.
Well, and like the fact that he was like chewing that bitch out when he first
Yeah,
shows
he
up, I was
literally
like,
talks.
damn.
But like I love that growth, and like I just love that now it was to a point of like he was no longer in that loopy, like even in Mugen Train, when he pulls up and saves Nezuko, he has that little like loopiness.
Yeah.
And of course we know he went through, all three of them kind of not a training arc, but like they went through a period of training, after Mugen Train up to this point now. And it like again, to me, it just shows Zenitsu's growth as a character. It's like those small detail type of things. And bruh, the way he just looks at her and just shoots her out of the house and is like, "Yo, I got some words for you, bro. You got to
Yeah,
apologize
for real.
now." Bruh, I was like, "My boy Zenitsu, he's such a gentleman, bro." And then,
I was like, damn, he is laying into her, bro.
bro, I told you,
When
bro.
he came through in the building and she was gonna attack Tengen, and he literally said, "Oh no, you don't!" Pushes that bitch through the whole building into the fucking like sky. I'm over here like, "Yo, he about to go off. He about to go
And
off. There's no question."
I'm gonna be honest, that kind of plays into what I think I was saying last week. Zenitsu is OP, bro. Like this again, this is why I don't know if it was this last week or the week before
I
that.
think it was
This
last
is
week.
why they had to get yeah, this is why they had to get rid of those lower moons, because bro, think Tanjiro had to freaking go Super Saiyan essentially
Yeah.
in order to even like touch her, like to really do anything. And I know she doesn't like fully know Zenitsu's power and stuff, but like he pulled up on her, and keep in mind she's in her strongest form, so he didn't even get to like fight her like in her like weak form,
Yeah.
or her like not powered up form. And like, and also to put into perspective, Tengen wasn't even ready for that attack.
Yeah.
Tengen's a Hashira, and he wasn't even ready to like. I mean, he saw it coming. I think it would have maybe grazed him. I think he would have definitely dodged or like parried it, but it seems like he was taken aback by it, and it probably would have grazed him, like at the very least. And if you notice, Zenitsu is the first one to notice that she like kind of became hostile, because like it shows her starting to get mad, and then it cuts to Zenitsu like using his thumb to push his sword up,
Yeah.
so you knew he was gonna do something.
I feel like
And
his danger sense is like next fucking level.
yeah, like, dude, I'm telling you, Zenitsu's mad OP. Like, if they let him be awake, like, the entire series, and, like, just let him just be a menace, he's wiping out everybody. Like, yeah, Tanjiro's sun breathing stuff is, like, broken, but Zenitsu as a whole is broken.
Yeah.
He is insane. And, like, that was just something that, like, I'd like to point out just to show, like, that's like specifically this season is why they cut out those lower moons,
Yeah.
because they were not touching the main three. Like they get so much better so quickly that it's just like those are fodder, bro. That's why they got rid of them. It would have been
He
pointless to watch them even fight them. I
you.
mean,
Like
yeah,
Tanjiro was
it's
just like walking towards him and just sliced his head off so casually.
Yeah.
so I mean it's like, and again, like this is literally proof Zenitsu single-handedly knocked out would freaking handle every single one of them if he wanted to. And then we get to see Inosuke. I'm excited kind of for the next 3 episodes. It's gonna be good, bro. Like just
I just want to see Inosuke shine, bro. Cuz like I have a feeling that he's going to get like a moment and I can't wait for that moment.
You're gonna love next episode, so I'm gonna say.
I'm telling you, bro. Inosuke, like he just shines, bro. Like from here on out, he really does have like good moments.
True.
Um, so you'll be happy with Inosuke. The new demon, her brother, I forgot his name too. I think it starts with a G. Um,
I have no idea,
you
but
know,
he is terrifying to be honest.
it's like so. Oh, we'll touch on that later. So Like,
Zoro, that's his name.
yeah, um, that fight scene, dog. Like, just how it's to me very interesting. This is why I love being able to read and like watch the anime. The way Tengen like switches, like his killer instinct switch is insane. Like how he went from you guys have such a flashy entrance like that, like I'm proud of you, to this motherfucker's gonna die
To like
is
throwing
just
his fucking
insane.
blade into that dude's throat.
Yeah, like it's just so fun to watch because you don't like, of course in manga, like it's really, I guess, up to your imagination what you can really think about, but like being able to see that like killer instinct switch just flip on and off like that
Mhm.
is insane. And also that sword scene is crazy, how he's like, did the sword get longer, and he's freaking
Yeah,
holding
just
on to it by the
holding
very
the
tip,
very tip.
like, bruh. But fast forward through that, like you also get to see the cool fighting style of um Tengen, because like, you know, you get to see his
He
wife come up and try to assist
Well,
him.
not only that, but like he
And
kind of uses those swords like a little bit like nunchucks, which I really enjoyed just watching that whole scene of how like he deflects shit, he goes on attack and just it was just that whole segment with like both of them one on one with that chick's like shit coming through the ceiling around them. I just like I could watch that on loop all day, dude. Like that, it's so satisfying, and like I don't feel like words do that scene justice, to be honest.
how do you feel about how they have to fight them? Like having to sever both heads at the same time,
I feel like
and
I honestly I genuinely feel like these like next two episodes are just going to be straight hands, and then the last episode of the season might be where they finally cut like both of their heads off or something. Cuz like I just feel like the way that they said it actually was just like really kind of sums up how I feel, how like both of them were like, "Oh, well, plenty of Hashira have tried and they've all failed." And you can't just like obviously they could just be fucking lying straight out of their teeth, given just like the level that they're at right now. I feel like they're really hard for a reason. And yeah, sure,
yeah,
like it's 4 against 2 as opposed to 1 against 2, but they're not all Hashira level, and I'm not trying to downplay all like the 3 of them, but I feel like it's going to be a very interesting fight, especially for Zenitsu and Inosuke, considering how at
so
least Inosuke actively trying to get close to her was not happening. Where, Tanjiro going fucking Super Saiyan was all up on her. So I just want to know or like try to figure out how both Zenitsu and Inosuke can work together to get close to her. I'm not so much worried about Tengen and Tanjiro because
it's a Hashira and Tanjiro that's
yeah.
kind of broken.
Yeah, like you got the Hinokami breathing and a Hashira who's clean as hell. So like I'm not really worried about it. But
I also do want to warn you, Diego. You're gonna be on an emotional roller coaster these next 3 episodes.
I'm sure.
So like,
I'm sure.
you might want to have tissues next to you. Like it's just like, I'm gonna be honest, dude. I'm sure Adrian will attest to this too. The ending of this arc and like what's about to happen is such an emotional roller coaster of just ups and downs, and you're just like, wow,
Dude, like
that's crazy.
my heart was doing backflips throughout the last 2 episodes.
Uh,
So cuz
Bro,
like
that's
these
nothing compared to
fights
what you're
are
about to go
so
through.
fucking intense,
Honestly,
and like I know both of you know what happens, but like for me, I'm like, especially considering how you guys talk about it and even like the things that we've seen, they don't pull punches with like who gets fucking killed off at this point. So like at this point, I'm not even expecting Zenitsu or Inosuke to make it to the final arc. Like if but one of them gets
I'm gonna be
whacked.
honest, Diego. Yes, I read this and I remember like certain key points and certain things, but keep in mind I read this like probably close to a year ago, so I don't remember fully everything that happens.
Mhm.
I think Adrian, you recently reread it, or maybe he just remembers the arc like a little better than I
I
do.
reread
Like,
the arc a little bit,
so yeah,
but
that I'm gonna be honest, bro. I remember, like I said, I remember certain key points and like certain things that like, but I don't remember exactly like how they happen, or something still kind of like I'm like, oh wow, I didn't notice that when I was reading, or like, oh, I forgot that happened.
Hmm.
So like, I'm chilling, bro. I'm always excited for these episodes because I'm like, oh, I get to relive this. This is great. But like I do know for sure though, like, bruh, it's an emotional roller coaster from here on out, and like you're like what you're explaining, how you're feeling now, like it doesn't compare to the stuff that you're about to go through. Because I remember reading this arc and I was like, yo, this is sick. And then I got to like, where we're getting to now, and I was like, bro, this is so intense, so crazy. Like I was like, I was going through it, bro. I was in the hotel room, like, oh my god. So like dude, it's gonna be great. And just I'm ready to see like the full on fights. Cause like this was the first time I think we got to see everyone kind of like finally, fight and show what they have. Like, because we didn't really know where like Zenitsu and Inosuke and Tanjiro were. Like we just know that they went on a bunch of missions solo, trained, and then they ended up there,
Yeah.
right? So this is the first time you're getting to see how much they've grown, and it's also the first time we get to see Tengen and actually fight, not just zooming in a room and cutting a demon's head off and being like, "Yeah, you're ugly. You need to stop talking."
Yeah.
Like, um, and this is such a good like opponent. This is obviously, at least in my opinion, the best enemy they've faced so far. And to be honest, like it's one of the best in general, in my opinion. Adrian, I don't know how you feel about that. There's definitely more demons that they fight that are more interesting in the grand scheme of things. But when it comes to like thorough and in depth with this demon, it's one of the best, if not the best.
Mhm.
Like really getting to
Are you
understand the demon
saying
and
this
stuff.
demon?
Yeah, the brother and the sister.
I just personally say Akaza is better.
Yeah,
That's just
that
me.
I'll give you that one. Definitely but this is one of the
Akaza
top
and the
ones.
first demon, the first man.
Oh, that one is a good one. But that was not fair though. Okay, we don't have to talk about that right now. That was not fair.
I like,
Um,
yeah, it's like this, the first, like the third one, and I would also say don't the second moon too, but that's just because the
I feel
first
like we don't see
one.
enough of that one though.
No, but he does have connections with certain characters, so it's kind of makes him more interesting, in my opinion.
Yeah. But anyways, enjoy this, Diego, and be ready to possibly cry the next couple episodes.
Dude,
uh,
we'll talk more about this later, but like I really cannot wait for this next arc, especially considering like what I read this week. But
oh
that's more for
boy,
later, bro. That's more for later.
listen, bro. Also, the last thing I want to touch about this episode. Did you end up watching the ending credit scene like I told you to, or no?
Fuck. I forgot.
Okay, so I'm gonna explain it to you, right? The credits roll,
Yeah.
right? And then you see Tengen just standing in the dark, like they're like just pitch black room, almost like Mind, right?
Mhm.
Like it's like his conscience, and you hear a voice, and it's our boy Rengoku's voice, bro.
Aw.
And basically it's he's standing there and he's hearing him, and Rengoku basically tells him like, I think Tengen is saying like, "Oh, I'm not strong enough or whatever, or I'll never be as strong as you. You were always like the best of us. I looked up to you." And then you hear Rengoku say like, "You're so powerful. If anything, I looked up to you." And then he goes, "Tanjiro Kamado, the Yellow Boy, and Boarhead Boy, watch out for them in a flashy way for me." And then he turns around and you see Rengoku, and then Rengoku just kind of like fades out. And I think Tengen says like, "Oh, I absolutely will," or like, "Leave this to me, I'll do it," or whatever. And it's kind of nice to see that like, especially after reading the new chapters that came out for Rengoku and Gyu.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert, if you haven't read them, skip like 10 seconds. But seeing like how he was treated like right before he became a Hashira, to now seeing like Tengen be like super feeling super close to him and stuff like that, and seeing that connection, I thought was really cool.
Yeah.
And it was just one of those nice moments where it's like he's gone, but it's just like he can't be forgotten in a sense. Like he'll forever be part of Demon Slayer now. no matter what.
That makes me happy. I'm gonna
The
fucking.
yeah,
I'm gonna
it's
watch that.
you need to go watch it.
Yeah.
It's a good scene. It's a cool little scene that they threw in. And it also shows like, you know, almost like the importance, not importance, but like the potential the main three
Yeah.
have. Because of course he saw like Tanjiro fight and he, saw the sun breathing and probably knew that like Tanjiro was special. But for him to even mention like Zenitsu and Inosuke, kind of recognizing their brilliance and their ability and potential was really nice. And it puts you into perspective of like wow, these ones really are like different.
Yeah.
They're enough for to where like Rengoku really does feel the need to make sure they're protected and guided in a proper way. And it just, it makes Rengoku seem like more of a sweet guy.
Yeah. I mean,
R.I.P. the homie.
RP.
Adrian, did you watch that scene?
I did. It was a very good scene because, to be honest, in the manga, we don't really. I mean, we do, but not as much as the anime for sure. Because I'm not sure how everyone else felt about Rengoku. I really do feel like he was cut short
Oh, for
because he
sure.
was.
I feel like he had
Yeah,
hella potential to be like a really like one of like the greats in like all of anime if, what
And
happened didn't happen.
in my opinion, if he wouldn't have died, he would have arguably been the strongest Ishiro. Hot take.
Hot take, hot take.
yeah, I will say because what
Don't
happened.
explain why, just continue.
Yeah, but
Uh,
I will just say that manga does not like use Rengoku other than I don't want to say a plot point, but as a plot point for Tanjiro to keep pushing forward, other than uh his family dying and he needs to like get rid of Muzan.
Yeah, and I'm
But
sure that like, the popularity of Rengoku after Mugen Train definitely probably plays a role with him maybe being used a tiny bit more in the anime. Cuz like
100%.
eh, again, manga spoilers for not for manga spoilers, but like the spoiler for the 4 chapters that released. I don't know, but if we don't see any reference for Rengoku from Mitsuri's arc, I'm gonna be really surprised given the kind of relationship that they had. I don't know if those 4 chapters are canon or not, or at least the two concerning Rengoku. But if they
uh,
are, if there's no mention of Rengoku whatsoever, I would be really surprised.
uh, that's a really weird. I can't even really like explain. Like, I could see how they just kind of threw that in since her breathing style derives from fire.
Hmm.
But I also like could see them just kind of like throwing that in there as like extra. I mean, by the end, you see that she like seems to hover more around Iguro,
Mm,
the Snake Hashira, because at the end of those chapters, that's who she was
yeah.
with. I hope they add in like something anime wise that kind of does like tie that in. To be honest, I hope they could. Honestly, I'd love to see that as a movie. Kind
What?
of like
Uh,
a volume zero type thing. Take those 4 chapters, turn them into a movie, and like just kind of like obviously extend the things that happen.
Honestly,
Um,
between you and me, and I know that we're deriving, but whatever, we're talking about it. Like with the Giyu and Shinobu, it was a really good read, don't get me wrong, but it just kind of it didn't have the same effect as the Rengoku and Mitsuri.
Completely outshined. I
Oh
told
yeah.
you that. I'm pretty sure I told you. I was like, I did not care about like after reading Rengoku's, I did not care about
Like
Giyu.
how I texted the three of you. Like that reading that really made me excited for Mitsuri as a character cuz like I didn't really care. I not that I didn't care, but she didn't seem the most interesting out of all of the Hashira, obviously. But
not at first.
just given the little glimpses that it gives you of her as a person and the way that she fights, it made me really excited to actually see what she's about, which like I didn't really think that that was going to be like such a thing for me cuz like obviously since they're Hashira, you want to see what they're like because, they're the most powerful demon slayers. But she was probably the one I was least interested in. And now she's the one that I'm most interested in, all thanks to these 2 fucking chapters. I didn't really think that 50 pages would have changed my opinion on her that much, but it did, and I just really
I
am
mean,
excited to see her arc.
dude, I'm gonna be honest. They do a great job of really giving a good backstory to all the Hashira. I don't remember much. I think because there isn't really much of one, but the Mist Hashira I think is the only one that's kind of drawn short.
I don't remember his. I do remember like he does have a significant backstory. So like it's not maybe not as significant as maybe like someone like Sonam.
Well,
Definitely more.
even the Stone Hashira has like a pretty interesting, good backstory. Like,
Yeah.
in my opinion, just the Mist one just doesn't have the like it. There's significance in it, but it's probably the one you're least like interested in. Everyone else has like a backstory, and you're like, yo, like that's insane. Like that's actually crazy.
Well, I feel like that may also be part of like, the pretense for his character is that he's like a prodigy or whatever the fuck. So like, somebody who's just extremely talented for no reason, like you like in most aspects, you don't really care for that kind of character.
Well, that's why I said there's not much of a backstory. Is he's so young that it's like it's hard to have a backstory for someone who's not lived that long.
Yeah.
But like there is like a story to his character, and you'll see that in the next arc. The next arc, I think is yeah, it's the two. It's literally those two. So
Yeah.
it's Mist and the Love. So you'll get your Mitsuri. She has a. I mean, now knowing that part of the backstory is nice. Her backstory in the arc is it's alright. It's okay. It's not my personal favorite. There's certain ones that I mean, me and Adrian's favorite Hashira I think are the two in my opinion that like really shine.
Mhm.
Like their backstories are like kind of like not intense, but it caught my interest the most in the ones where I was like, damn, like that's insane. Um,
That and Stone Pillar does have an interesting backstory. Especially, I don't know if you know this. I'll talk to you later about this, Brennan. But he does have a very interesting connection to a certain character. So
we'll have to talk about that later.
Yeah, cuz no
Um,
manga spoilers here, boys.
yeah, this get ready, Diego. You gonna be on a like literally. Even next arc is like a whole emotional wreck, bro. To be
Bet.
honest, but I think next arc is I don't know, Adrian. Next arc, like there's certain things that could have made it a lot better, but like next arc is really, 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 really good. I don't want to say it's the best one, but it's like it's up there. It's a really good arc, at least like for Tanjiro. But
or
these
but the
three
training arc
episodes, Diego,
Get ready.
have fun with those. You gonna come on here crying, bro.
Bro.
he gonna be an emotional wreck, I promise.
All right. Well, enough about Demon Slayer. Even though we could probably all talk about it nonstop. Should probably move on. So the last three topics that we have are the Marvel news that I omitted from the anime section because we like to break it up. You know what I mean? But the very first bit of news for Marvel is that I don't. Is this like? I'm just gonna say it. Hold on. So Tom Cruise's Iron Man is going to be the most powerful Tony Stark that we have seen up until this point. Now, is that a rumor? Or is that like a statement that somebody made?
I feel like that should be a rumor because it's not even confirmed that Tom Cruise is like
Like I
Iron
know
Man
that
in multi.
there's the reason why I'm asking and like I'm not going to immediately like wave it off as like a rumor or whatever is because like, you know, ever since there's been talk about Doctor Strange sequel, like it being in development, I mean, there's also been, an alternate reality Avengers and Tom Cruise being Iron Man. So, like, if that's a confirmed thing, that's dope. I can I have mixed feelings about it if it is confirmed because I feel like, you know, yeah, Robert Downey Jr.'s Iron Man kind of like served his purpose and whatever with the story as a whole. But I also feel like it's kind of robbing him of a spotlight that he could have as like a really strong character. Cause like I, I I don't know if I'm the only one who knows this, but like in terms of power level for Iron Man, I feel like when Robert Downey Jr.'s Iron Man died, he was like just getting to the peak of the power of Iron Man. Or not the peak, but like, getting to that point where he's hitting the peak because, he got the nanotech. And if you read the comics, everything that he develops after nanotech is fucking insane. So if it is true, that's gonna be sick because we get to see some crazy stuff, hopefully from like a potential Tom Cruise Iron Man. I don't know how much. If this is true, I don't know how much he will be shown. But I'm just hoping that we will. With this statement alone, I'm hoping that we will be able to get maybe like the bleeding edge armor or something. Were you looking into it by any chance or no?
I didn't look into it, but to me, my thing with this is like I don't see Iron Man as having like power classes. Like, oh, this Iron Man's stronger than this Iron. Like, of course, yeah, the suits have different
Well, it's the
durability
suit.
and
It's not
are
really the
stronger. Well, no, like
Yeah.
yeah, and but like I would also argue like Tom Cruise could have the better suits, but that doesn't mean that Robert Downey Jr.'s Iron Man wouldn't still win. You know what I mean? Like,
eh.
because it's also down to how do you use the suit? Like, you know, what are you as a character trying to do? Because in my opinion, Iron Man was never really like quote unquote strong.
No,
Um,
but
so I just like I'm like cool, you have a stronger suit that's not really like saying much. Did you take on Thanos and did you snap your fingers and sacrifice your life and essentially your child and family having that husband slash father figure? Like, to me, that's what made Iron Man strong, is like him being able to make these like hard decisions and do these things that like most people would struggle or wouldn't be able to do. That was like the good part of Iron Man and about like Robert Downey
yeah,
Jr.'s, because he always came off as like a D bag and like just like the typical rich white dude type of like vibe. But when it came down to stuff like that, he was always making the right decision and always doing like Spider-Man, doing what's best for the greater good. And so to me, like just saying like, oh, Tom Cruise's Iron Man is stronger, it's just like, is there really a need for that?
oh
Like
yeah, I
it
agree.
it just seems so unnecessary and so like, cool, dude, you have a stronger suit, but like what is your character like? Are you? Because I mean, if he just continuously plays off the D-bag type of character and we just see him like basically enact and like not make the sacrifices that Robert Downey Jr.'s would, then in my opinion, it's like, nah, Roberts is stronger because you would have folded against Thanos. You wouldn't have done that.
Yeah, because like even if he had like all of the same like experiences as Robert Downey Jr.'s Iron Man, like so like we're not connected
Yeah,
to you, but like and that's part of why I'm like about this because like yeah, sure, having another Iron Man for a movie would be cool, but at the same time it's like yes, seeing these suits that I was talking about that are like crazy powerful, that's cool, but it's not Robert Downey Jr.'s Iron Man. So like, do we really care?
probably not.
Yeah, not
Cause like
really. The only
I
thing
know that like seeing a bleeding edge armor or I forget what the other ones are called, but there's like one that I think he could like destroy an entire planet with one blast. Like seeing those armors would be cool, but I don't care. Like
I almost guarantee we ain't seeing anything like
no,
that.
I
if
don't think we
anything, I
will.
think they might just do the bleeding edge because that's like it's the so I could be wrong. I'm not sure. But after he develops the nanotech, he ends up developing a suit that lives inside of his bone marrow. And I'm pretty sure that's the bleeding edge armor. So I feel like that's like a natural progression for, what we know of Tony Stark. And like it would be really cool to see that suit, as I've said, but beyond that, like beyond the fan service in the moment, kind of like how people are saying with the with No Way Home, how like maybe in a few years when the nostalgia and everything wears off, it's gonna be an movie. I disagree. Just throwing that out there. But with this at least, I feel like aside from in the moment where we see it for the first time, second time, third time, moving on to like the fourth or fifth, it's not gonna have the same effect. It's just gonna be like, yeah, that's really cool, but let's just move on with the rest of the movie. You know what I mean?
I mean, that's probably all it's meant to do, is just like,
Be a fan servicey
let's
kind of
like
thing.
shows yeah, like let's just show something cool and
Oh
interesting and
yeah.
then just move on. Like,
I'm sure that's
I
the
mean,
whole
it's
point of it, but I just like I it's
It's Multiverse of Madness, dog. They're just gonna show a bunch of crazy stuff that could have like happened, and
coulda,
like
woulda, shoulda. Yeah.
you know, not even that. Just this could have been what we had instead of what we have, or like, look, this is a different timeline of this, or something like just like little Easter egg type
But I
things.
feel
I
like
don't think it's.
at the same time, this is like getting dangerously close to the line of like we're just doing this shit because we can, not because it fits the narrative or whatever. Because like if you don't have that emotional connection with the character, then what the fuck is the point?
I mean, I don't like. Again, it's not made to have an emotional connection. It's like our Iron Man out of the universe is gone. We're gonna show you a different Iron Man or what could have been, and then
A fully realized one,
they'll probably develop a different
like a
Iron
fully
Man.
realized Iron Man.
I don't know,
That's
man.
like
I just
that's
It,
like the only thing I take from it is like it's a fully realized Iron Man. If it's like the strongest Iron Man, it will, or that's been shown in cinematic.
yeah, but like
Because
if that's what they wanted to do, then why use Tom Cruise? You know what I mean? Because now, from a realistic standpoint, like in real life, I understand why, because Tom Cruise is probably infinitely cheaper than Robert Downey Jr. at this point. But I don't know. I just can't get past the point that like I don't like I yes I would love to see it, but I don't feel like I feel like if they continue to use stuff like this, because it's not an Easter egg at this point. It's just like I said, just doing it to do it. And if you're just doing it to do it, then that kind of defeats the purpose of what they've been doing for, the last what, 20 plus years. That's just how I feel. Obviously, you could feel differently, but I just
I mean, I just think like so to me, I like that they're using a different actor for this different character because it's like we've seen Robert Downey Jr. He's been Iron Man for X amount of years, over 10 years, right? It's nice to see someone different. And like, I just, Robert Downey Jr.'s Iron Man was written and his story ended. And I think his story ended in the best way it could have ended. Like, if he would have continued living, like, it put a pin and just really stapled in, like, bro, that's our Iron Man. That's great. You know, bringing him back is like, oh, it's a different time variant. Like, I'm almost like, it would be like we were talking about how, like, you're like, it'd be cool to see, Hugh Jackman come back as Wolverine, but, like, let's move on. It's kinda like that. Like, I don't wanna see him come back and it's, "Oh, it's a different variant, though." Like, okay, it's a different variant. Let's make him look different. Let's make him, like, let's just like Loki. Loki had all those variant they didn't look exactly like him. It was multiple different people who were the same character. There, like, there was the Sylvie, which is a girl version. We had one that looked like the classic one. We had the crocodile one. We had the little kid one. There were a few that looked exactly like him, but I liked the ones that weren't exactly him because they were
yeah.
different. Like I think if anything, I'm more excited to see. Okay, how is he different from Robert Downey Jr.'s? Like, while I said I don't want to see him be a d bag the whole time, is that who he is? Maybe he fought Thanos and he made the stuff to where after he snapped, he didn't die. Maybe his like, since his tech was stronger or he was quote unquote stronger, the snap didn't kill him, so he continued living. So now
Ooh,
what is he doing? Like, you know what I mean? Like, it
that's
just
true.
I
Actually
don't want to
that could be a possibility too, cuz like
I don't
I'm just
want
making
to
an assumption on like the
knock
most
it before we
powerful.
could try it.
Yeah. Like you're right. Actually you're right, cuz you're right, bro.
You never know what they're gonna throw out, but if it is one of those like small little things where they like it's arguably not even important in the movie, like cool in the moment, but then again, if it's that small of a part in the movie, rewatching it, I'm not gonna care
Yeah.
that it's in the movie, but I'm not gonna care that it's like I'm not gonna care either way that it's in the movie. I'm not gonna be like, oh, they might as well take this out, or oh man, like I love that they took this. Like if it's that small, then I'm like, yeah, that's cool the first time. The second time, aha, it's still a cool moment. Third time, yeah, it's just part of the movie. And then it's just like that
Yeah.
for the rest of the time. I'm just like, it's just part of the movie. Like they wanted to throw it in at the time. It was really cool. Now looking back, it's like it's not important, but I guess it's still kind of cool that they did it.
You're right, bro. You're right.
Yeah, it all just depends how they write his character in the movie and what role he plays.
Yeah. Ignore my negative Nancy rant then. Cuz
Toxico.
that didn't even cross my mind, to be honest. But speaking of I don't even speaking actually, here's a fire fucking transition. Speaking of negative Nancy's, Wakanda Forever might end up setting up a Namor spin-off in a similar way to how Civil War introduced Black Panther. That part is from the article or whatever the hell. But Namor's a negative ass bitch. That was the connection thread. You're welcome.
Bruh, he's a menace.
Homie be mad as hell.
He's great though. So, rolling back to I don't even remember one of the podcast episodes. I'm not surprised if this is true because, like I said in that episode that I was referencing, it's kind of been like a thing for as long as Black Panther has been a movie that the second one would either introduce or be focused on Namor for the most part. So I'm not really surprised. And if I'm assuming this is a rumor as well, if this rumor is also true that it's going to work the same way that Civil War did with Black Panther, then yeah, I mean, whoop-de-doo. That's just how I see it because I'm like, this isn't news to me because I figured, because, what is it, Black Panther and the Two Kings or whatever the hell that title was like theorized to be? Just the Two Kings, bro.
I
Black
think that was
Panther
one of
and
the
Namor.
titles I rumored.
Huh?
I said I think that was one of the titles I rumored.
Yeah.
I don't know
So,
that deep.
like, I'm really interested to see what they do. Obviously now that Chadwick Boseman is no longer with us, R.I.P. But the fact that they're still kind of sticking with the Namor plot is really interesting to me. And given that we still really have no idea if what is it? Is her name Letitia, right?
She's confirmed back
She
in.
is.
They already, I
Yeah.
think so, because I think I read a thing that it said she was back in and filming restarted.
Good. I mean, maybe
Um,
good. I don't know. But
I mean, it's good for this like the universe and not having to try to figure out like how to now retcon kind of like two characters out of
well,
it
not even
without.
Yeah, without
retcon, but
making it
like,
look weird.
if you're now making Shuri the main character of the Black Panther franchise or the protagonist of the Black Panther franchise, and then recasting that main character, even though she's been in 3 movies now, it's kind of weird. So like, it's a good thing, but at the same time, since she's so wishy-washy, maybe that's delaying the inevitable. You know what I mean?
Mm, who
I
knows?
don't know. I
We'll find
also
out.
I personally I also think Winston Duke would have been a really good Black Panther. I know that it's not like I don't think it's a Marvel canon thing, but I still think that, he's a really good actor and a really good character and he would have done it justice, but that's just me.
Listen, bro, I'm gonna take it back to the original topic. I'm kind of like I hope Namor does come in. Neymar, yeah, what is this, Brazil?
Yeah, bro.
Um,
For sure.
but I hope he does come in
PSG?
just because like
Shout out.
we've gone through a bunch of um we've gone through like a bunch of not only the world but the universe, and we haven't even finished off like exploring all of the world's like Earth's things. Like we haven't explored the water side of the
Yeah.
world. So I think it'd be really interesting to finally have like all of that opened up to where now we've explored all of Earth. Now let's do these celestials and outer space bullshit.
Yeah, like different
um
realities, space.
yeah, different realities, space, different species and stuff like
Yeah.
that. Like, bro, we haven't even explored all of Earth. It's just like real life, bro. We don't know what the hell's in the ocean yet. We're out here trying to get to the next planet, bro. But
This
like
planet dying, bro.
I just like I don't know, and I like Aquaman, and like as much as I like that movie, and I want to see DC do good, even though they're pissing me off. I think Marvel would absolutely kill it making an underwater city and doing a aquamarine type character.
Well, not only
So I'm
that,
here for it.
but like it wouldn't even be like a rehash of the Aquaman movie because Namor and Aquaman are two completely different takes on the
Well,
same
yeah, no,
character.
I wasn't saying like it's a rehab. I'm
No, no,
just
no.
saying like
I was
I
just
think
saying
they
like it's not
I'm
going to
saying the
be a
special
rehash.
effects and stuff like
Yeah.
that is going to be like way better. Like, because I don't think Aquamans were bad when they're in the water. There was definitely scenes where I looked at it and I was like, dude, what the hell? Like, this just
It looked
does
pretty
not
good.
look right. There were certain times where it just didn't look. There was one scene where he was walking by the pier and like you just visibly knew all of this green screen and CGI. At least to me, it was really off. But like when they were underwater and doing all that stuff, it looked
Yeah.
fantastic. And I just like with Marvel's budget and how they do things, bro. I know it's gonna look insane, and they'll create such a cool and what I hope to be a very beautiful looking world under the water. So I'd love to see it. I think it'd be really cool. I'm absolutely terrified of being out in the middle of the ocean, but I'm here for it when it's in movies.
And I
I just
think
hope
like
that they do the villain right
and
too,
I think
because
introducing
it'll
him
have
in a movie would be, the play, kind of like how they did with Justice League. Even though the movie was shit, you still get like a little bit of a look into what's going on with Aquaman's side of the world, and then obviously we're thrust into Aquaman the movie, which I'm assuming they're going for the same kind of thing, kind of dipping their toes into the CGI aspect of being underwater, seeing what people think, and then full fucking send with a Namor movie.
I mean, can they really do a Namor movie? Like, I don't know anything about him. I just know that him and Aquaman are like essentially the same character, but they're different. Because Namor is more of like he really does not care about the
Yeah,
upper world. Like if
he
you even come
he
down
really hates it.
if you come down and look at Atlantis sideways, bro, he coming after you.
yeah. I
Like I
know
know
that
he's definitely a lot more brutal and not villainous, but like I guess you would say
Mm,
anti-hero ish.
all I really know about Namor, because like out of Namor and Aquaman, I prefer Aquaman, but I also know that Namor is a really good character. But the only stuff that I've read with Namor in it is just when the Avengers and the X-Men were fighting, Namor took the X-Men side. So like that's all I know. Like
I just remember one of his villains, Sinister. I know more about his villain than him.
yeah, no, see, I don't even know what his villains are. So like I got nothing for you, bro. Like I know that
It's a
I know that
it's
Namor
just
fucking
literally
hates
it.
everybody and he fought with
Yeah,
the X-Men.
literally.
That's it.
Ooh, Neymar versus X-Men movie would kind of
No,
slap.
with as in like alongside, not against.
Oh,
Yeah, he
that'd
wouldn't
still
be
be
against it.
cool.
Yeah, but like you can't do an
I'm all
X-Men
out
versus
for
Avengers at this point cuz all of the main
the
characters of
Avengers are
that
dead.
cast are kind of dead or old.
I mean, they can
Pretty
do the
much.
new Avengers. That's fine.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not against it. I just think that it would
We have
be
to establish the new Avengers
yeah, you would
first.
have to A, establish the new Avengers, B, establish the X-Men, C, establish a reason for the conflict in a way that
Or
it's
that movie, or that movie can introduce the X-Men,
ah disagree.
Yeah, I don't see it
Disagree.
because
bro. It's like Civil War, bro.
Yeah, but what
yeah, but
what
what
did
would
Civil War introduce aside from two characters?
Exactly, two characters.
Two
the
characters
X-Men is a
versus
whole
a
team?
fucking whole group. A whole
Yeah, but I mean,
species.
dude, we've seen enough of X-Men, bro. It's just like Spider-Man. We didn't need another origin story of, that. Given it wasn't the best X-Men movies, but like we know who Cyclops is, we know who
Yeah, but
Wolverine
there's
is, we know
also a ton of
Storm, we
rumors that they're
know.
not
Are
going to
gonna do
go
their
with
own
the like
thing.
what's it called? The big ones.
Okay, so even better, you introduce these like people who you don't really know, you get interest in them, and then you start making their solo movies, or you start, building off of that. In my opinion, I think that worked. Just like Black Panther. Not a lot of people knew Black Panther. We saw him in Civil War, and then he got his own movie. Except this is just with the entire team, and there's certain people that are going to be prioritized out of the team before all the rest of them. But like, you could easily build like 2 to 3 characters in one movie if you have the right characters and they all have enough ties together.
You got it,
I would
Chief.
just say
You got it, Chief. That's all I
I
got.
I don't know about in Neymar, just like Maybe another movie,
Yeah,
but
like,
not Namor.
No, I'm saying the war movie, like
see, I feel like
you
that's
know.
even harder because, like,
You're gonna
I mean,
a
focus
I
on
quote
don't keep in
Hawkeye.
mind.
unquote
I don't know the
war only
storyline,
worked in
but like,
Endgame, and that's just because based off of hype. I feel like if we knew nothing about the Avengers and Endgame was a thing, everybody'd be like, "What the fuck is happening?"
I mean, I'd still watch it and be like, "Yo, this is freaking
Or
sick."
actually, a more realistic would be like Civil War. Like if the comic style Civil War happened, I feel like that would be just way too much. And that's basically
Yeah.
what would happen because it's not some of the X-Men. It's all mutants versus the
But see
Avengers.
that, but that's what I'm saying. Like, you know, they're not gonna do it exactly how the thing is. You do the new what will be the X-Men team, and you introduce them to get like because
Yeah, but
think
you would
if you
also
do it
have
against the
to.
Avenger. No, 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 no. Listen,
Okay,
listen,
okay.
listen, listen. You everyone like okay, so you establish like who's gonna be the new like Avengers, right? Like we all know that Falcon is now Captain America, so he's part of it. Hulk is like that like honorary like he just shows up when he wants.
Mhm.
Thor could always come back. And then you establish, the X amount of new people. We need like maybe 3 more. So then after that, if Namor's in the new Black Panther movie, right? Oh, that's another one. Look, Black Panther's in there. Wow. Now we only need 2 more characters. Cool. So then the way you do it is to do like a more, I guess, surrounding and around Namor is like the Avengers are like for some reason, trying to track down like mutants or whatever. They've been like, fighting mutants for whatever reason, I don't know. And now keep in mind this, I'm not following comics. I'm not like we ain't talking about that. But the certain mutants from what will be like keep in mind, they won't even be the X-Men. We'll just say it's a group of mutants who are together who are like on the run or like trying to hide, right? Somehow like run into Namor. They explain what's going
Ooh,
on
the Brotherhood.
and Namor
That'd be sick.
and Namor just kind of looks at them
Neymar.
and he's like, Namor, shut up. All right.
Mhm.
Namor looks at them and he's like, I mean, that is kind of messed up. And they've low key been like messing with the ocean, right? Because Namor cares about the ocean. So they start messing with the ocean and stuff, and it's getting a little close to Atlantis. They ask him for help. Now he teams up with said mutants, fights the Avengers, and then like I said, that kind of springboards mutants into I mean, they would already be like in the universe, but it would be like, as the Avengers teams are getting built, you hear like people talking about like, oh yeah, we've been tracking down these what are called mutants, and you could say like Shield's neutralizing them, right? You can even say like the Scroll have been doing it because the Scroll feel like their powers are like too close to the Scrolls being able to like shapeshift and shit, or whatever, but basically like you hint that they've been essentially having Avenger people kind of hunt down and neutralize them or whatever, and it's just like little hints, right? Like it's not like a full like storyline thing yet. It's just like each Avenger movie kind of has like a little hint or like they mention it, and then that would kind of catapult you into like these mutants were important, so obviously they're gonna focus on the ones that go at, get Namor's help, and then you kind of do like an origin story of how that group came together. Not even single origin, you do a origin movie of how that group came to be, and then boom, you just start X-Men. Boom, I'm here for it.
You got it, bro.
I'm here for it, bro.
I'm not even gonna say anything, but you got it, bro.
I'm here for it, bro. It doesn't even have to follow. Screw the comic.
Bruh.
I mean, it's not going to be the same anyways. Like, you're like, I don't think we'll ever get a Avenger versus X-Men movie anyways that would follow like that comic line. So might as well do something not 100% similar, but based around the idea of like mutants versus the Avengers. Scarlet Witch can join them too. Screw it. Ooh, House of M wipes them all out. Wah!
They
Death to all
can't,
the
dude. If
mutants.
they do House of M anytime soon, I'm gonna cry.
Brought them in just to get rid of
Yeah,
them.
literally. Unless they're shit. If they're shit, then like do it. But but if they're good and then like what, like 5 movies in, they're like, yeah, we're gonna House of M this bitch. I'm gonna cry.
Oh my
I'm gonna
god.
fucking cry.
Bro, I forgot. Speaking of Scarlet Witch, I don't know why I didn't send this post. Apparently, there's gonna be emotional parts to this movie because Quicksilver is supposed to come back. I think.
For Multiverse of Madness.
I think so. I believe
They
so.
really just cannot get enough.
They want more Quicksilver.
I mean, personally, I wish they would have kept Quicksilver. Just saying.
I agree.
They should have, but I guess for Wanda's character, they
Well,
wanted
I
her to
think the
develop.
reason why they did that is because they didn't want any confusion between, their Quicksilver and Fox's Quicksilver. Little did they know, the very next X-Men movie after Age of Ultron was one of the worst, but, it's fine.
It is what it is.
That really went from like a Namor conversation into an X-Men conversation. But that's fine. I'm always down to talk about X-Men.
I just want to see underwater Atlantis, bro, in a Marvel movie.
It'd be sick, bro. It'd be sick. All right.
You beautiful.
And now the final bit of news is that there's some concept art that's been going around. I think it's official, right? Of Mysterio fighting Doctor Strange in Spider-Man No Way Home, which basically confirms that Mysterio was supposed to return as the 6th member of the Sinister Six, but he got cut for whatever reason, which I think probably the right play, because I think him returning immediately after he quote-unquote dies would be weird, but also like,
I feel like he would be shafted by the Green Goblin.
when we get introduced to Mysterio in Far From Home when he's fighting that water monster, how he like was using the quote unquote magic. I feel like that him fighting Doctor Strange like that would have been such a good fight.
It would have, but it would have been like we would have had to open up and kind of dive into that character more, since he was using holograms. Like they would have had to kind of explain like what Mysterio is realistically supposed to be.
Yeah, so like an alternate version of him from a different universe.
That would, and I think that would have just been a little too much for the movie.
Well, not only that,
already
but like
had kind of a lot going on.
But like you kind of have to also at the same time walk back the very last movie, because like in the comics we all know that Spider-Man fights Mysterio several times, and every time that they fight, Mysterio figures out a new way to fuck with Peter's spider sense. But like doing it pretty much almost immediately would be pretty weird. I feel like I'm not alone in that. It would basically be, what's it called? Immediately negating everything that Far From Home pretty much built up, which was him developing his spider sense. And
kind of like Batman v Superman. Leave it to DC.
I'm dead. God, that really just caught me off guard and made me forget everything I was gonna say.
I mean, am I wrong?
No.
She came down in a freaking bubble, dude. Grow up.
All right.
The Wicked Witch of the West.
I'm gonna be honest. I completely forgot what my purpose of talking was. So we're just gonna move on to what is Weebly Weading. I still hate the name, bro.
It's incredible. I don't know what you're
Every
talking about.
week I'm still gonna cringe at the fucking name, and it's all your fault, Brennan.
You're welcome.
All right, well, you go first, because I want to know how your experience reading Chainsaw Man has gone so far.
Oh, you want? Okay.
No spoilers. Or light spoilers.
Well, I can only talk about the first 20 chapters, bro. If they
That's
haven't read it,
still
not
like
my problem.
most of the first season, my guy.
We talking about it. So first of all, before I even get into that, bro, for my people reading Tokyo's Revengers right now, oh my god, bro, Mitsuya's a goat. That's all I'm gonna say. I ain't saying nothing except for Mitsuya's a goat. Period. Point blank. Period. Bro, Diego, I wish you were caught up. Anyways, I did start reading Chainsaw Man literally today. I'll probably be on chapter. By the time I finish today, I'll probably be on chapter like almost done.
Bruh.
Chapter almost done.
I don't know. I'll probably be in like the 70s or 80s. Who knows? Let's see how tonight goes.
I thought you said you read the first 20 chapters.
He did.
So what you mean chapter almost done?
I said by the time I'm done reading today. as in like by the end of the night, like when I go to
So
sleep.
you telling me that you're gonna read another 50 chapters within the next 3 hours?
It's not like he hasn't done it before.
Yeah, I was literally about to say, and what about my past reading experiences have made you think that I can't do
Hey,
that?
look, bro, you got it. You got it.
And plus, with
Anyways,
Chainsaw Man's pacing, he'll be able to do it.
I mean, like, I know that it's less than 100 chapters, but goddamn, bro.
bro, I read 100 chapters of Bleach in a day.
You right.
I read Tokyo's Revengers in like a night.
God.
So I don't want to hear
All
it.
right,
All right.
whatever. Continue.
Anyways, I was talking to Adrian about this in the car a little bit. It's very interesting. Right now, at least at first, like it's not my only gripe is like the like quote unquote horniness of it, but it's not like in the sense of like there's too much like fan service. It's more of like his drive to do things. However, I will say, like I was explaining to Adrian, it doesn't bother me that much because it like with his like I've already seen signs of like kind of character development for Denji, and I also am keeping in mind that he is essentially an 8-year-old boy in a 16-year-old's body, which one you're already like in the mindset of a child, like you don't really know 100% right from wrong. You're kind of just like going through the movements and stuff like that, and then on top of that you're going through the hormones of like puberty and stuff for a 16-year-old boy, so like it's just not a good mixture. But like I told Adrian, I've already seen a lot of like character development and stuff like
Mm.
that. And then this is what I was talking about earlier when I mentioned the type of characters I hate. Aki is but isn't one of those characters right now. Like, because he's kind of like in the first couple chapters like rough with Denji and not really like hearing him out or anything, or like kind of trying to understand Denji's full story. But he's not a complete like D-bag. Like he oddly does want to protect Denji and doesn't like he doesn't look down on Denji in like that type of way of where it's like you're beneath me. It's more of
I mean,
like
he does it
he's
first.
almost
But
trying
yeah.
to be well, but like it's still also coming from a level of like I want to protect you, because he's taught from what's her face?
Himino.
Himina, yeah. That like if you don't have a good resolve, then you're gonna die.
Yeah.
And he knew that like I mean, again, he doesn't understand like who Denji is and why like what Denji wants to do is like so
I mean,
important
all
to
he
him.
really wants to do is just have sex with Makima. Let's be honest.
No, yeah, but like but
Just a
also
little loving.
but like again, he's an 8-year-old boy essentially trapped in a 16-year-old body. So of course like that drive, and considering like he doesn't really have anything else, like that dream is like everyone else's dream to
Yeah.
them, like so like with understanding that about his character and stuff like that. But it's just frustrating sometimes, like because I was telling Adrian, you almost see him be taken aback by some of the things that Denji says, that he realizes like, wow, like he definitely is special.
Yeah.
One of the key points, spoiler alert, I guess it's not really that big of a spoiler or a big deal, but the moment where he says a word and Denji's like, what does that mean? And he's like, what, you didn't learn this in school? And Denji is like, no, I didn't go to school. And then his face is kind of like shocked because he's taken aback, like what the
I'm
hell?
gonna have to
Dude,
reread
you're
this
like
because I don't remember what you're talking
you're
about.
well, he does that, and he essentially it's like I don't know if I was like, reading the expression wrong, but it was more of just like it seemed like he was realizing like, oh, like you're basically a kid.
Yeah.
Like, and that's kind of one of those points where it kind of turns and stuff like that. That's why I said he's one of those characters, but not one of those characters.
I feel like
I'm
he's like
interested.
a good twist on that kind of character that you're talking about.
Yeah, like he has those qualities, but he's not a complete like just annoying
Yeah.
D-bag. But other than that, I'm really liking Power and Denji's like dynamic. I think it goes really good together because she says she's smart, but she's essentially like a grown child too,
She's more of
and
a
just
dumbass
absolutely
than Denji,
chaotic.
and I love it.
Yeah, and it's just absolute chaos every time they're like doing anything. And I love how like anytime they say like, "Why'd you do that?" She's like, "He told me to."
That bitch
um,
is a liar, 100%.
Yeah.
yeah. As I sent to you guys, I love how man's turned from down bad into like basically pulling every single female. And you know, I don't know if you want me to go into the character development. I've already like kind of like seen that they've almost hinted at because you said no spoilers. But I was explaining to Adrian. Adrian was obviously keeping his mouth shut because he doesn't want to like really spoil anything with
Yeah.
me. But yeah, like I'm enjoying it. We'll see what I get to. Like I said, I'm excited to see more of like how he
Oh,
grows.
I have a question for you
So
actually, which forewarning will be an episode 1 spoiler, by the way. How did you
what?
feel about Puchita getting whacked immediately?
Mean
Cuz like for me now my what's it called? Like preconceived notion, I guess is the word. That's not the word, but like all of the imagery that I've seen of Chainsaw Man is like Denji and Puchita a lot. So like Puchita essentially dying in quotations in the first chapter really threw me through a loop and like made me question what my expectations of the manga was. And like I just want to know
Bruh,
if that
you
was
just
like a
spoiled.
what?
You spoiled the first chapter. I'm spoiling everything. I'm
No,
talking to
no,
full on
no.
now.
First chapter, it's
Yes.
fine, bro. It's fine.
That's not fine because you just ruined it for all the people who are having your similar experience. Anyways, I mean, I didn't have that same thing as you. Like, I knew, like, I've seen plushies of the dog, so it seemed like, or not dog, whatever, the devil,
It's a
I
dog.
guess you would
It's
call
a
it.
dog.
But I've seen plushies and stuff, but I didn't know if it was gonna be like a big thing. Um, I mean, it made his form make sense, like, what he turns
Yeah.
into. Because I was like, when I was first reading, I was like, so he got a dog. How the hell does he get this chainsaw shit like the dog has? Like, you know, and I don't, they did it, in my opinion, they did it very well to where I read it and I was just like, oh, like that's, he sacrificed essentially, like he essentially wanted to sacrifice himself for the
Yeah.
dog or for Pochita. And, in return, it did the same thing back to him. And I think it was really cool seeing that, like, it did that and still allowed him to keep his human form and still essentially allowed him to live without really taking over his body. Like it was just cool to see that dynamic of like, the typical like, oh, not all devils are bad and this one is good,
Yeah.
whatever. So I liked it, and I think it's playing a crucial role in the story right now, as at least of what I can tell between the true differences between like Denji and between the public safety
Yeah.
people, because you know they see. You can cut this part out too. I guess it's going to be a little spoiler s, but they see them as tools. The public
Yeah.
safety
Yeah.
people, they see them as tools, and that's how they use them. While Denji is definitely like emotionally connected and completely utilizes them and sees Pochita as an actual person and is at an understanding that it's living inside of
Yeah.
him and he's got to not only live for himself but for Pochita. And I just think that's cool. And I think, like I said, it's playing a really important role of like helping develop Denji into more than just someone that is like essentially wanting to have sex or touch boobs or
Yeah.
whatever.
Well, at the same time though, like to your point, yes, the public safety people see the or devils as tools, but at the same time, like the devils also see the public safety people as a means to an end. And
I
I
mean,
don't know
yeah,
where
for
specifically
sure.
you are right now, but I know that between roughly chapter 20ish to where I stopped reading, I definitely see a lot of what I mean by that statement because like I'm not going to get into details or anything, but there you definitely see at least from what I'm understanding as you go along that it's more of like they're using each other basically.
They have a mutual benefit.
Yeah.
But like,
And
but that's where
it's
Denji
not always a
differs.
mutual benefit. It's more it kind of for at least some people it seems more of it being a benefit more for the devil than the public safety person. At least in terms of Aki, that's what I see. But
Yeah, because his
Depends
like
on the devil.
requires a lot from
yeah,
him. But like and see that's the difference in between Denji, and I'm curious to see is like is that why the devils at the moment are trying to get him. Because I basically, I can't say. Anyways, where I'm at, the devils really want specifically
Yeah.
Denji. And I'm, obviously I'm going to keep reading and figure out why. But like, that was one of my thought processes is like, maybe it's because of how him and Pochita like fused together.
Mhm.
But then I'm also like, it referred to him as the chainsaw devil. So I'm thinking maybe Pochita derives from a devil that was powerful and you know it had one of those kind of like Nell and Bleach where like turned into a kid and essentially didn't know its true
Yeah.
power. I don't know if it's something like that, but there's definitely something up with it. But I'm open to it being something similar to like that fusion is dangerous because, you know, we're not supposed to have that type of connection with humans or whatever, or humans aren't supposed to have that same
Or it
connection
offers
with
too much
devils,
power.
too much power, or like just, you
Power.
know, Pochita
Got it.
Pochita was definitely one of those like unique
Yeah.
devils. So it's just like, you know, it could be dangerous, um because that I think yeah, that is the only one that is like strictly like only in the benefit really of the human. Cuz realistically at the end of the day, Denji could have like tried to just escape and live on his life as if nothing happened as long as his chest string doesn't get pulled, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like and that wouldn't benefit Wichita in any way other than it being happy that he got to go live out his dreams and see him live out his dreams. So that was a very one-sided contract in Denji's way.
Yeah.
And the devils could be scared of the humans being able to find those type of devils or being able to have that type of connection with certain devils
Or maybe even
because I mean,
figuring out a way to, like, even if the devil is unwilling, figure out how to do something like that.
yeah, and like that would be very interesting
Mhm.
and like because I mean I've already noticed Denji's like he has his drawback to his power if he loses too much
Yeah.
blood, but when he's in that mode, bro, he's OP. And with the demon that I just saw him fight, he can stay in that mode for as long as he wants, realistically, as long as he has enough enemies to
Yeah.
kill. So I mean Denji is definitely like mad OP, especially the devil that he just killed. What he was not supposed to be able to just go down there and just do what he
Yeah.
did. So, you know, I'm just waiting to figure it all out,
All right. Well,
but we'll see.
you're at some point today you're going to pass where I stopped. So,
I mean, have you still not finished it?
no, I'm here. I'll tell you exactly what chapter I stopped on.
Aren't you in the 30s or
Yeah,
40s?
I stopped at chapter 37.
Oh, bro, in an hour of after we finish this podcast, I'm gonna be past you.
Yeah, cuz I wanted to stop because like I said, like I wanted to see cuz this was my experimentation anime basically is I wanted to see if I would still be interested in the rest of Chainsaw Man even if I watched it, and given how excited I am for the anime, I think, that experimentation I already know the answer, which is that's a negative. But you went
Negative, as in
like
wait.
like I think I can finish the rest of
Okay.
Chainsaw Man and still be excited to watch all of the rest of the anime with no problem
Okay.
whatsoever. But you went on talking like for like 20 minutes, which is way past the time limit that I set for all three of us.
My
But
bad.
it's fine. We had
My
some good
bad.
conversation about Chainsaw Man. It's good. Adrian, I'll let you go next. What have you been weeding this week?
Ooh, weeding. Well, I'm gonna keep it short. What I've been weeding is I'm still on Berserk. I've been slacking on it, so like I'm only doing one chapter a day, and that's like if I had the time to do so. I'm still in the Golden Age arc, and I'm not into like the most bizarre part of the arc. I'm about to maybe give me like 10 chapters, and I might get to that. I don't know when exactly the eclipse, I will say, happens. But other than that, that's the only thing I've been reading.
Well, have you been watching anything?
Um, no, I actually haven't. Other than I did catch up on Peacemaker. That's a really good series, I might
I
say.
still haven't started it.
It's good. I really like it, but god damn, it's fucking vulgar as shit. Amount of titties you see,
Bruh.
I just wasn't expecting that. No cap. But other than that, Mandalorian or not Mandalorian. I said that because of this recent
Yeah,
episode.
I saw on Twitter that everybody's like, "Oh, this is a really good episode of the Mandalorian." I mean, the Boba Fett.
Yeah, fucking Boba Fett. It's a really good episode. I like it. Other than that, that's it.
All right, well, that was like 2 minutes. That's crazy. Man,
Yeah,
sped run.
Peacekeeper. He caught up on Peacekeeper
Yeah.
too.
that's what I said. Yeah.
Oh, word.
Bro, imagine not paying attention. Crazy.
I don't want to hear it.
All right, so for me, what I've been reading, I'm not saying it for a third time.
Oh, Diego's been weeded. They're so cute.
So I finished the quintessential quintuplets. I'm kind of salty at the ending, but also not at the same time. I'm only salty because, in my opinion, best girl is Miku, second best girl is Nino, and the main character ends up with the third best girl in my opinion, which is Yotsuba. And I'm salty because I think that his dynamic with Miku was better, but it's fine because it was still an emotional and wholesome ass ending. So, whatever. I still think it's like a 10 out of 10. It's definitely the best romance anything I've ever watched or read, I should say. So yeah. But outside of that, I started reading Bleach again. I started reading Fire Force because I wanted to give Fire Force another chance cuz originally I only watched the first 3 episodes and I wasn't really feeling it, so I stopped. But I've also noticed a trend where some anime that I don't really get into, if I start reading it, I actually really do end up getting into it. And I am currently on chapter 20 something, and I'm really enjoying Fire Force a lot. I read another 15 chapters of Bleach today. For legal reasons, I'm not going to discuss what I read, but it's just as fire as every other bit of Bleach. But yeah, that's what I've been reading. And oh, My Dress Up Darling, by the way, if you guys have not watched it, you guys at the audience, not you guys at both of you. Adrian, you and I have already had this discussion. Brennan, I don't think you're going to like it. But My Dress Up Darling is fire for several reasons. One of which legally I could not talk about because legal reasons. But yeah.
You sussy little boy.
Shh. All right, well, yeah, that's all that I've been reading. Reading and watching. The purpose, you know what I mean. Brennan, wrap this bitch up.
Ooh, let me take that mic from you, big boy.
The metaphorical mic, yeah.
All right, y'all. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. We had some pretty good conversations about certain animes and mangas. Nice little Marvel conversation as well as your friendly weekly DC slander. Still, fuck you, DC, EU, gang.
Okay.
Anyways,
Hate boner for it is immense.
as always, like Diego said in the beginning of the podcast, links to everything is at the bottom. Let's get Diego some subs. It's still fuck Adrian. He still hasn't done anything.
Fuck you. I'll get to it this week.
I'm gonna be honest, fuck me too, because I have not been posting anything. I had my last post on my Instagram was literally December 4th. We looked at it today.
Dude, I don't understand how, because you've literally bought more pops since then, and I gave you 2
Yeah, I know.
pops. Post that shit.
Yeah. I'm still getting followers from it too.
Dude. Post on the shit.
Anyways, yeah. I hope you guys had a wonderful night, evening, day, morning. I hope your food's delicious if you're listening to us while eating. I hope your shower's fantastic if you're listening to us while shower. You know
Please
what?
take a shower.
Please
Please. I'm sick of people on Twitter normalizing not taking a shower. Clean yourself.
He is slamming
I'm
shit.
tired of it.
Adrian,
He said, no, it's bad for your skin. No, you just musty. You stink.
Shut your mouth. I'm trying to do the outro.
I'm
You
sick,
okay,
nigga.
Adrian?
No.
Anyways,
I'm dead. I'm not including that.
but as always, we will see you guys next week.
Oh God, what the fuck was that outro?
Y'all ain't even say bye. How disrespectful.
Adios. I love you
See
all.
ya.
Goodbye.
Give me
Adrian, how
kick
dare
this.
you? How dare you make
I
me
had-
have to yell at you?
I had to get that PSA out.
Bruh, I put that mic literally like basically inside my mouth.
Pause.
I'm sorry, I had to get my PSA,
I'm
bro.
dead.